Okay. Good morning. So today I will be giving transmission on the river Chhoje, the mountain. Sang is Chhoje, like mountain purification offering, and then the Nolsang practice of Padmasambhava. Those who have the text, you can see, I think at the end there's some description how this practice started, isn't it? Do you have the text of Nolsang? It explained the history, brief history, how it came in this world when Padmasambhava gave their revealed this teaching in 8th century. So anyway, the reason I'm giving this transmission today, first of all, this is one of the very special practice for healing. And the reason why this is very special, we are connecting to the 4 guests during this practice. And the 4 guests are, first is called Kunchu Sishudun, meaning the guests of the Triple Gem, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Lama Yidam Dakinis. And the second guest is called Gompo Yundingidun, to all the protectors, Dhammapalas, male and female Dhammapalas, those who've taken the oath from Buddha and Padmasambhava, to all those protectors, Dharma protectors. They're the second guest. And the third guest is Riktuk Ningjidun, the object of compassion, being the 6th realm, such as the Devas, God's realm, Asur, the demigods, the humans, then animals, then hungry ghosts, and hell realm. Those 6 realms comprises basically a big part of samsara. To all those guests and infinite guests of all the beings of the 6 classes. And then the last guest is the guest Girig Lenchagidun. Gig means the obstacle creator. Lenchak means karmic debt. They are the object of this offering. So nothing is left when you look at, whatever, first of all, to make merit for our, such as I said, Lama Yidam Dakini. That comprises all the mandala of the Triple Gem. For example, those who are seeking long life, you can visualize Buddha Amitayus, the Buddha of long life. And without any exception, all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Lama Yidam Dakini, making their offering, then we are trying to repair all our Samaya breaches. This practice is good for repairing of Samaya breaches. This practice is profound in repairing the Samaya breaches with the Dhammapalas. This practice is, needless to say, in the first stage is Lama Yidam Dakini, all kinds of Samaya breaches. And as a Vajrayana practitioner, we do have Samaya breaches because our mind is not always in bodhicitta mind. We get distracted from bodhicitta mind. Therefore, all kinds of karmas are created, all kinds of Samaya breaches happens. Now, if the karmic impurity happens through our body, speech, and mind, they're the cause of our physical ailment, they're the cause of a speech ailment, they're the cause of a mental ailment, which means a lower phenomenal experience, which is basically suffering, the lower realm experience, such as the experience of hell realm, such as the experience of hungry ghosts, animals realm, all this lower realm. In order to be born into a lower realm and to have, even in a human body, the experience of lower realm, such as hungry ghosts, as poverty, such as hell realm, pain, such as intense pain, that to the point people are ready to suicide, kill themselves. That's kind of like a hell realm experience. And then the poverty of the mentality of the hungry ghost, and then the stupidity of the animal realm. We do experience that when we lose warm-heartedness and kindness and compassion, and when we have lack of patience, lack of tolerance, we create those causes to be born into those lower rebirths. It has nothing much to do even with bodhicitta, because when you bring bodhicitta, then it's like the higher state of mind which leads you beyond the sixth realm. You know, when you practice bodhicitta, you are practicing not to be, to just simply gain a higher rebirth of the higher samsaric rebirth, such as gods or demigods or human, but you try to transcend entirely from any level of samsara. So karma and bodhicitta, yes, there is connection, but at the same time, you have to look at like in a different perspective. Karma is ordinary people also create karma. Good karma, bad karma, all kinds. But bodhicitta is specifically for Dharma practitioner, those who have taken the vow of bodhicitta. You see, you have to be much stronger than an ordinary person. Ordinary person doesn't know anything about bodhicitta. They do not know what is altruistic motivation. They do not know what is the cause of altruistic motivation. They're just living in their very ordinary mind, and they are sometimes good, sometimes bad. That's how because the mind is afflicted with afflictions, therefore that kind of mind could not see deeper level of bodhicitta. So before I talk about bodhicitta, first, even beings on ordinary being, those who are living on their ordinary mind, they also need warm-heartedness, compassion, tolerance, all the noble qualities for them to experience a better and higher rebirth and experience. Once they're born into those higher rebirths, such as human being, such as demigods, such as God's realm, devas, for them also they need to maintain certain level of awareness. We are not talking the awareness of emptiness, but awareness of warm-heartedness, awareness of compassion, awareness of patience, in order to experience higher samsaric pleasures, higher samsaric well-being, higher samsaric qualities. They also need that. So when those get degeneration, then even on the samsaric level, one cannot experience happiness, the sensorial happiness. Now when we talk about bodhicitta, then it's take far more. The Dharma practitioner have to be reminded more of the, consequence of losing bodhicitta and the tremendous blessing and benefit of keeping bodhicitta. So since we do fail a lot on the path, where ordinary people fail on a karmic, try to maintain a good karma, people do fail a lot. In fact, so much aggression and neurosis that our mind goes through and experience. Therefore, there's a lot of suffering, including the experience of pandemic, including experience of collective negative karma that we experience as a humanity, all this suffering, what's going on today in this world, and the intensity of distrust because the more deeper affliction is there, naturally distress is the expression of that neurosis, as well as our sickness, physical sickness, as well as our mental suffering. All those are sign of, our own creation of neurosis. That's why afflictions are the main obstacle, that to be tamed and that to be destroyed, that to be eliminated should be our aim. You don't destroy by gun or by sword or by killing, but you destroy that within your mind. Like arahat, dra chompa, dra means enemy. What is the enemy? Our own afflictions are the enemy. So therefore, this is very important. Those who are seeking for happiness, and those who are seeking the highest level of happiness, enlightenment on the bodhisattva level, even that could be arahat level, that can be bodhisattva level, that can be Buddha level. For them, bodhicitta is essential. It is said that those who want to achieve enlightenment, without bodhicitta, there is no way. And that's the only way that it can lead you to ultimate happiness, transcending from all this affliction, is the bodhicitta mind. So now, that being said, now how do we do that? What is the method to purify our obscuration? Whether it's on a samsaric ordinary level, or whether it's on the spiritual path, the profound spiritual path, such as the Bodhisattva Yana, and then, needless to say, the Vajrayana path, where we practice those Vajrayana practitioners, those who practice first the Ngondro, then, in the Ngondro, there are 4 outer Ngondros, then 5 inner Ngondros. All those practices get deeper and deeper. And then the Lama practice, Yidam practice, Dakini practice. And all this practice has only one goal, and that goal is to be fully realized, transcended from these afflictions and ignorance, and get to the state of clear light, the mind of compassion and wisdom, to realize that's the only goal, that one see the ultimate truth. For that, and all other obstacles and impurities and obscurations to purify, the practice of Ryo Sangcho and Nolsang is like immense powerful, which was brought as Therma, which was hidden by Guru Rinpoche and Lady Ishi Sogyal, and later the chosen Tertun that Guru Rinpoche has prophesied, they came in this world, and then they revealed this teaching for the benefit of all beings, for the future beings, which is today we are the beings who get that benefit. So this practice, any Vajrayana practice, you need transmission, or you need empowerment. If you're doing like a Yidam practice, Lama practice, Dakini practice, you need an empowerment and a transmission. Now, if you're doing a Ryo Sangcho, there is no empowerment in this, there is transmission in this. So the transmission from the Tertun, basically the Tertun was blessed directly by Padmasambhava, and then his teaching spread by his students, followers, and then transmitted to the future recipients, fortunate ones, for them to practice and get benefit and blessing. So therefore, this practice is very powerful, because we try to repair our samayas, as I said. We try to repair our ordinary relationship, including with our parents, because you not only have a responsibility, those who are on a higher spiritual path, to repair your body, speech, and mind samaya of the Lama and the Dharma and bodhicitta, But you also have a responsibility to uh, repair your relationship with your parents. And we do have made a lot of mess, including in that level. We have hurt our parents. We have not respected our parents. Parents feel they have been ignored, they have been neglected. And those all creates very heavy karmic debt, because you owe them tremendous karmic debt. So therefore, this practice also purified those obscuration which become hindrance to your happiness, which become hindrance to your enlightenment, on the ultimate level. So therefore, all kinds of levels of karmic obscurations and karmic debts can be purified, through this practice, if you do daily, and then you can experience in your mind when you do this, sense of lightness, sense of more strength, compassion, bodhicitta, warm-heartedness, all coming into your mind, and then your whole life situation begin to change and transform, as well as your physical sickness, it can heal, and many, many blessings in this one. So therefore, I thought this was important. And recently, the state oracle, Nechung, which is one of the great protectors of Padmasambhava, in fact, Nechung was the his other names are Gyapo Shingjachen, Gyapo Bihar, the 5 great kings, who Padmasambhava instructed and handed over as the principal protector of the Dharma, to protect and hold and protect the practitioners in the future, not to be swayed from the path of Dharma. So he's very powerful, and he's the state oracle. So he's medium who come and channel through him, give the prophecy recently that for this pandemic, since it's a collective negative karma of the world, needless to say, how today we live in the world of age of weapons, age of all kinds of weapons, from nuclear weapons to chemical weapons to biological weapons to all kinds of, now cannons and guns are small today, small thing, no big issue. We live very destructive, powerful weapons. We live in the age like that. And then inner aggression and neurosis is burning like fire. So naturally, we create a lot of negative karma collectively and individually. Therefore, all kinds of strange things happens, which were prophesied by Padmasambhava in the 8th century. So how to heal this thing collectively? It was a prophecy by this Nechung oracle to do Ryosancho practice, not only for the pandemic, but, as I said, your own karmic debts, your own repairing of samayas, all those. And then the Nolsang, which is another practice of like a cleansing, purification practice, which was given in 8th century by Padmasambhava. Extraordinary practice, which is translated in English. So all these texts are translated. And so this was the prophecy by Nechung, and I thought it's beneficial. Without any saying, is Padmasambhava's incredible compassion showing us. And so if you practice this, it can bring you a lot of, positive well-being, happiness, joy, harmony, and your business. If you're looking for business, success of business. If you're a student, success of your education. If you're a Dharma practitioner, the success of your bodhicitta. So it's every level, from the level of, karmic debt to repair, to, repay the karmic debt, to the level of first case is triple gem, second case is Dhammapala, third case is beings of the sixth realm, fourth case is the karmic debt, obstacle creator, including dead spirit, whatever, those who are creating harm, male and female, obstacle creator, negative forces, which is filled today all over, because they are also hungry. They don't get any food. Since they don't have a body, like, they're seeking for food. Even if you look at a beggar on the street who don't have food to eat, how much suffering and pain for he or she has searching for food, we can imagine that. If we miss one breakfast or one lunch, how much hungriness it creates in our body to look for a food. Same thing to being those who are fallen into a trap in a bardo, in the intermediate state, without having any body, and then day and night, due to their negative karma, born into this negative manifestation of form, what we call spirit, they're running day and night, try to fulfill themselves. And since due to that karmic ripening of the negative state, they're born as a spirit, male or female spirit, and very powerful. They can take the life force, create sickness, create, like for people who are not well, no sleep at night, nightmares at night. And then inside, when then they enter into you, and you have all kinds of crazy thoughts, crazy obscuration, due to that influence of that. So you want to kill yourself, you want to die, you want to create harm. All those effect of the negative forces. And there's no way, you can take there's no injection for that. There is no medicine for that. The only way to deal with that is through, Dharma blessing. And that is the special design practice, such as the Ryo Sangcho, where you give the food. Since most spirits are smell eaters, they are called Triza, smell eater. They cannot get raw food, but they can take, like the energy, sort of, they suck your energy. And so therefore, when you do this practice, is repair those, they receive through the smoke, through the blessing, when you do yourself, as I will mention later, when you do the practice, you need to do a little bit of like deity, generate yourself either into Padmasambhava or into our Lokeshwara or any deity, radful or peaceful deity. And then you make the offering to the the four guests of the 6 realms, to the 4 guests, and then they receive that as whatever they aspire, whatever they wish for. Those who need, those who, even they go through mentally suffering, even they don't have a gross physical body, they have a mental body. So when people see spirit, for example, someone, those who are dead and those who are born as a spirit, trapped in their mind, they have a mental body, subtle habitual body. It supposes habit. So let's say one of your relative dies, and then people sometimes see, oh, this so-and-so died, and they can see the spirit of that person in that house, a man walking by, a child walking by. For example, in Boulder, Colorado, there's this hotel called Boulderado, and there's a known spirit there. There's one child, I heard. So, people do feel the presence. I was there in that many years ago. One time I was in that, walking in the hotel, and I felt the presence. So many places, that kind of stories are everywhere, and it's because they're trapped. So now, and since they're trapped, then they also, when they couldn't get fulfilled, due to their karma, they try to harm people, disturb their sleep, or bring sickness to them, or some kind of accidents, and this kind of thing happen. So therefore, all this practice, when we do it, when we dedicate to all of them, they get fulfilled. Once they get fulfilled, it's like, you owe a debt, and once you pay the debt, then there is peace. They no longer harm you. Like there's tremendous benefit. And these karmic debts is not only can come from this lifetime, but it can also come from the past life, which is debts are still to be paid. So therefore, when there's so much debt, then of course, if you don't pay your debts to IRS, what you owe, then you'll never fall asleep well. Same thing, they don't allow you to live in peace. You either get mentally disturbed or you get physically some sickness, and then you don't know what's causing it. You're doing all you think the right thing, but still something wrong things happening in your life. So therefore, this practice are very beneficial, to try to repair and fulfill those things. And then those who are, on the path of Dharma practitioner, yogis and yoginis, monks and nuns, laymen and women, those who are on the path, then it purify their dualistic afflictions, obscuration, and then give them the blessing to see their clear mind, and then gradually, they achieve enlightenment. So this is a very profound practice, these practices. And on top of that, today on River Sangchu, there's a practice of Drala, and there's a practice of Yangu, which I'm going to give transmission on that too. Now, Drala practice, Dra means enemy, La means the protector from the enemy. Drala, in other words, it could be like the protector from the enemy, or like, I think here someone may call like guardian angel, one who guards you, the angel which guards you. So here we call Drala, the deity which protects you from enemies. So it's like the warrior, sort of, the warrior deity who protects you. So we all have that. When we are born, due to our karmic, we all have our Drala. But when the Drala is, high, when your Drala is high, then everything goes smooth in your life. When your Drala is low, then nothing goes well in your life, So therefore, now, like, for example, in Tibet, Drala practice, some people have in their shrine room, there's a protector place, and then they have like sometimes some swords or, guns like that, which are like the beauty object of the warrior deity. So, or there is like practice of the warrior deity. So what that means is, when your warrior deity is high, then, there's no obstacle coming to you, in other words, whether it's outer enemy or inner enemy. You can also look at the inner level of enemy. Because first, for any attack to come to you, first you see something external. And then when that external, you face that obstacle, then internally you get disturbed. So someone coming to rob you, for example, first you see that person who is coming to rob you with a gun or whatever, and then you get disturbed. Secondly, you get disturbed, and then, you loses your life or you loses your material, whatever. So when the Drala is low, then you can easily meet those people who causes harm to you, or your acquaintance, or something. What can happen in many different levels, not necessarily like in a war setting way or war setting situation, but it could be happening something which really disturb you. Nothing goes well. You are trying to do everything right, but still you are facing problem, and you don't know why. And that could happen within a family. It could happen with your partners, with your friends, with your circles of friends, that the same people who everything was perfect before. Now the same person, things doesn't work well. So you're facing a lot of obstacles. This can be in business, this can be in your friendship, this can be in many ways. So Dhala practice is very important. Time to time, raise the Dhala so that, your protective deity, so to speak. We call it warrior deity too, but warrior deity or protective deity is high and strong, and then in that way, everything goes well. You see, this is all karma. We have so much karma, then naturally there's all this phenomenal manifestation. There is warrior deity, and then the warrior deity can get high, warrior deity can get low, just like you are sometimes high mood, low mood. It all affects how they are. For example, even you are well, but your loved ones, your children, your partners, if they're not well, then you get affected. You also, goes up and down. And when they're happy, you can also go high. So this is how we are karmically connected. There's so much karmic phenomena, we have. So many karmic debts we have, and so, therefore, there are that you owe karma, you owe karmic debts to others, or others owe karmic debts to you. So there are all kinds of things happening in life, Sometimes you never imagine, that very smart, intelligent people, and sometimes when other people look, why that person is, being with that person, who seems to be so smart and so intelligent, but that person goes through like terrible, time. You just have to bear that. You got no choice. What that means, until that karma is not over, you just have to go through. There's no logical sense in that. From the logical point of view, you're very smart, you're very intelligent, and you think everything will go the right way, but things are not going the right way. Things are going the opposite way. To the smart people, the world, even the general world will think, oh, very smart person, but in their own private life, very confused sometimes. So therefore, we have all kinds of karmic debts. How to repair that? And all those can be repaired. All can be purified. So, nothing is not workable. Everything is workable if we have the right method and how to do that. So therefore, these practices are very pervasive, very general in helping all levels of things. So if you do this practice like every day, best is if you can do every day, if not like once a week or once a month, it can bring you healing and blessing, very much. So you can see that yourself. So there is Dhala practice. Then there is a practice called Yangguk, Yang means like a charm, so to speak. Natural, it's like yang. For example, we say, oh, you bring good fortune, Certain people you meet or certain people come and being around you, suddenly that person's bring charm. That person brings wealth. That person brings power. That person brings a lot of positive thing. That's mean, very powerful people, whether it's gods or humans, have those kind of power to bring that. And and that can be our young, can be on the life young. So if you lose your life charm, I don't know exactly the English word how to translate, Tibetan called yang. Yang is like the energy which brings all good to you. And if you loses your yang, including your life yang, if your life yang goes away, then you begin to experience, like even in your dream, like death coming to you. Strange dreams, like you're trying to cross a river, cross the ocean, and then you in the middle of it, or you couldn't cross across, but you sink, or you're going in your dream, if you see like you're going down the mountain all the time, that's a bad sign. Your Drala, your warrior's god is down, and then all those positive energies are not maintained, and they're dispersing from you. The positive energy is dispersing, and sometimes they're stolen by the different powerful spirit world, or like sometime there may be some very charm energy object that you have, and once that is lost, then you begin to lose wealth, power, like that. There's all kinds of things like that happens. So the practice of yang is to bring back whatever is stolen, whatever is dispersed, to try to bring all those energy, positive energy, back to you and dissolve into your house. When the house, for example, where you live, if you are young of the house is dispersed, then you begin to, the house energy being dispersed, you don't want to stay in that house. You do feel uncomfortable and things like that. There could be many other factors, but partly like that. And then your wealth goes away. Staying in that house, nothing works well for you. You begin to experience a lot of strange things happening in a negative way. Those are also, you need to bring yang back to you. So life young, wealth young, well-being young, fortune young, and then you try, and here the practice is so profound that Paramasambhava, give this teaching that how to bring the young from the universe, like all the young of the gods, their power, their strength, their wealth, all of those, how you can bring those charm and energy towards yourself. And from the Nagas realm, how you can bring all their Nagas are known for the prosperity, how you can bring their wealth. And the young of health, how to bring positive health towards yourself. Life young, wealth young, and various positive energies, wherever those stolen from you or dispersed from you, or which are there, those existence, powerful people, and their, strength. For example, when you do this practice, even powerful humans who are in this world, when you do that, you can bring the entire, those who are, this is karmic, this is general karmic phenomena. So when you do young practice, you try to bring all the positive energies wherever it is, not only just from the powerful God's realms or other realms, but even from the human realms. That's how the young practice. You can lose young in various different ways. You can lose young, sometimes giving something to another human being, and with that charm object, you lose this thing also. Things like that happens if you think carefully sometime. How did that, my life used to be fine. After doing this, something went down the drain, And so that's means your youngs got dispersed and lost. And how to bring those young, including powerful humans, including whether they are materially powerful, or whether they are famous, or whether they have power, all kinds of different energies are there. How to bring all of those through the arrow. You need to make an arrow, and arrow has 5 colors. You can put like 5 colors cloth, either nice to have like some silk, or polyester today, 5 colors, and then you need a mirror, and then put some turquoise and coral if you have. Otherwise, just a mirror which is made of metal mirror. Of course, you can't put a glass mirror if you have. And then the 5 colors on that arrow. And when the practice comes, which I will explain to you later, then you hold, on your left hand a barley and put a butter on the top, and then you're holding that on your left hand in a nice plate or bowl, whatever. And then on the right hand, you hold the whether some call it long life arrow or the tsenguk, how to bring back your. If it's a sick person, then you want to bring health and well-being. So different purpose done. If you're looking for wealth, you can do that for the wealth. If you're looking for longevity of life, you can do that from the longevity of life. If you're doing that for, harmony of the house, let's say like you move to a new house, and then now you want to do housewarming, sort of blessing from the spiritual point, then how to bring positive energy to that house. Ryo Sancho practice and then the Yangguk practice are extremely powerful to bring balance and harmony to that place. So you see there are many ways of doing the Yangguk. So once you have the transmission, and then you can do it anytime. The best is when you do the Yangguk, it should be like waxing moon, before full moon, not waning moon. After full moon, then the moon rises from the waxing moon, the moon increases until full moon, so full moon is very powerful because there's the totality of the moon energy, so it's very powerful at the full moon time. Then after full moon, the moon begins to get smaller and smaller and smaller until the 29th and the 30th day of the lunar month. Then it's a decreasing time. So you don't want to raise prayer flags usually. You don't want to raise, if you move to a new house, anything new, you should do it like upper waxing moon time, because that's the time the energy is going higher. But after waning moon, then after full moon, then things goes below. So it's not good to do like, unless it's like a person who is sick, desperate, if you want to get a long life empowerment, then of course one should give. If you have to see a doctor, if you're in an emergency situation, that's a different thing. But if you want to do long life practice and then Yangguk practice to bring the strength, waxing moon time from 1st to 15th, full moon is very powerful. And then after full moon, then it goes down. That time one doesn't do it unless it's extremely like a emergency sort of situation, then you do it, otherwise you don't. So waxing moon is the very important part. When you do Yangguk practice, when you do long life practice, even if you go to a retreat, like going on the upper month is very important. Then also you need to further look in the astrology. For example, when you're doing Yangguk, which is your, on the waxing moon, which is your good day, for example. We all are born with a, astrological symbol. Like in the Chinese astrology, there are 12 animal signs. For example, this year is ox year, So those who are born in the ox year, and each person, which the 12 animals sign, whichever falls to you, that you are the particular year and particular sign of that animal, then you have like 2 good days and 1 bad day for the rest of your life based on that animal sign. You can easily look in, like in the Tibetan astrological department, they have the chart, and tells you, Monday of the 7 days a week, there are 2 days called Lhasa and Sogza. Those 2 are the best. And when you do anything on that day, most, like moving to a new house or doing and starting a new job or even going to retreat on those days, then it's get very successful. They have effect because we live in a conditional karmic phenomena. As long as one live in a karmic phenomena, we need to respect those details. Because if you don't, then even you have a good intention, if it falls into the wrong, bad day astrologically, and you do in the wrong time, then as we say, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, like that, or being at the right time at the right place. So they have effect like that. So it's, how all those things. So if you go detailed, which is important if you do like Yangguk, to do like there are days, for example, full moon, 8 days is Buddha day, a lunar 8 day. Lunar 8 day is a Buddha day. Lunar full moon, is very powerful for any spiritual practice. Those days, if you do Yangguk and practice, are much powerful. Like, for example, if you do Revosangcho practice, Nolsang practice, they are much more effective and more powerful than usually. But then there's other, such as your La day. La is like your guardian angel sort of day. And that day you'll be very powerful, and sometimes it can be, the full moon can be your La day. That's also possible. Whatever it is, so doing on your La day, Yangguk, and they're very powerful. But then there's a day called Chhoje. Chhoje is your bad day. Every person has one bad day based on the symbol of animal, on the 12 animal sign that, you can look to those who born in 1950s or whatever, is in the clear chart is there which animal sign you fall into. And based on that, then there are good days and bad days. And you should remember that. And that good days is for the rest of your life. It doesn't change from like this month to the next month. It's like for the rest of your whole life. Whether Monday is good for the rest of your life, or Tuesday may be good for the rest of your life, and maybe some other day not good for the rest of your life. So you need to know your own specific animal sign, and based on that, the 2 good days and 1 bad day will be there. So not to do like Yangguk and those things on your bad day, unless, as I said, it's emergency, then there's a different thing. Like if you need to receive long life empowerment, a sick person, sometime, people request the Lama to give long life empowerment. And it's good to receive a long life empowerment on your good day, for example. But if it's emergency, then, as I said, there's a different case. So therefore, there's the Drala practice, there's a Yangguk practice, and this can bring you, physical well-being, and then mental well-being and success in your life, whether spiritual or your business or your whatever your aim is to bring success. That will happen when you do this practice. So this is very profound practice, a method, is Vajrayana practice. So, and then the Nolsang practice, when you do then next is the Nolsang practice. When you do the Nolsang practice, it's a healing practice. Each one of them, if you look, when you read the translation, it explains, like for example, those who have bone sickness, those who have blood sickness, those who have feet sickness, those who have, different level of sickness, how they can be healed through their practice, So, and then the energy sickness, like feeling obscured, heavy, your mind is clogged, so to speak. Your mind is not clear. And how to clear those obscuration. Some practice in particular very powerful to purify obscuration. Many level of obscuration. We can get physical obscuration. For example, if you go to like a butcher house, if you go to like where they wash dirty clothes, one place is like dry cleaning place, I experience when I go inside where they wash all the dirty clothes, moment you step in that building, you feel like suddenly like a dark sort of energy comes to you, hits you. right away. You feel slightly heavy. If you notice, you may notice that next time when you go, check it out, how you feel your energy-wise, you know. So that's obscuration. That comes on you. And now what happens? Once the obscurations comes on you, then your mind gets disturbed. You couldn't see things clearly, you know. And then your physical sickness, you know, not necessarily going to dry cleaning all the time, you will get physical sickness. But then when you keep building up, at some point you become like a zombie. You know, your mind is so obscure, then you can't discriminate, or you can make decision clearly in your mind because you get fogged up in your mind, foggy. So therefore, cleansing, how to purify that, remove that obscuration is the Rinpoche Chhoje and the Nolsang practice. Very powerful. Then same thing, you know, they're phenomenal. These are different phenomenal that how they happens. Then if you, you know, go to, if you go to like a butcher house, you know, including sometime people who are very negative person, you know, and even if sometimes you can feel being in the presence of a negative person, your mind gets disturbed and you get those obscuration from that. And so for all those things, basically, any kinds of obscurations which obstruct your spiritual practice, obstruct your well-being, livelihood, you know, in the ordinary sense, the ordinary life, your basic life, your relationship, your well-being, your happiness, all those obstacles come from obscuration, and then they fog your mind, and then you couldn't see clearly, and then bring pain and suffering, and those phenomena happens. So, in order to purify those, the Nolsang practice is very powerful, and there's step by step how to do that. So, that being said, now let me give you the transmission of the Rinpoche Chhoje and Nolsang. Okay, so you should all listen. The important thing is transmission. You need to hear the whole thing from the first page to the last page. If you go in between to a bathroom and you miss hearing that, then your transmission get disrupted. Then it will not work because you miss certain parts. So please focus to that while I'm reading it, and then you will get the whole transmission. Hello, that's better? Okay. So now first is Rinpoche Chhoje transmission. What?
Yeah, it's not going to work. Yeah. Catching your breath.
Huh?
So a little further down.
Okay, that better?
Yeah, maybe
People can hear me? Okay. You know, Rinpoche Chhoje, Rivu means mountain purification offering. It's also good to do, of course, now these days, we can't do fire on top of the mountain, especially, you know, where there's a lot of forests and trees, there's danger of fire. Otherwise, to do on the top of the mountain is great. So I don't recommend doing that if you're living in an area where there's a lot of trees and forests. But if you're living in a desert, you know, then it's perfectly, you can go to the top of a mountain, get some juniper and cedar trees and pile up. You need all the incense, you know, like the ingredients are juniper branches, cedar branches, and then of course sandalwoods are great. And then you need a mixture of all the ingredients, like, you know, if you can, saffron, rice, grains, lentils, you know, butter, honey, sugar, all whites, no meat, no garlic, no chilies shouldn't be there. Rest, All others is called the white ingredients, means no meat and no eggs, all sort of vegetarian, and that ingredient has to be there. And then if you have some amrita, you add a little amrita on that, and then mix it up, with the if there's barley flour, mixed with butter and honey and milk and sugar and all the other ingredients mixed together, and then you make a big fire, and then you put juniper, pine trees, whatever you have, and then of course, as I said, sandalwood if you have, great, otherwise those junipers and like that, and then you make a big fire, then you put the juniper and pine, and top of that then you put the food, and then you sprinkle with the water, saying ram yam kamo mahung, and then you do it. So today we will show, Jim is doing outside, so after that we will take the camera and so you can see how he does it. So first let me give you the transmission. Ruwa sanchoki ngadu ti hul ju. Maung kanyab zi ke winyin bujo, wanta raze pema turin se, kyuko nasi gebe kyuko so, dokun sile tuji kyab so je 3 times. This is the refuge, you need to recite 3 times. And then second is bodhicitta mind. Not that you're not just doing it for yourself, but for the benefit of all beings, you need to include. That is important, bodhicitta practice. Sanjo ishe se tekleje dogun de sudana ko naso to ge de lu na jinga shino bongo to versem ke to shire ma jinyu ma je je tingda de be je che ba be ko ba ni de ni mino de cha de je je chimba che na lu de zo ba chimba che go ko ba do ne de ba so de ko so mi da de pa tra ngo da ke ne ka da ju go yin ne Gameze pema turen karma shuntuze simpe si parado jete panam zije gena chache yungzuzo tamye nyi me yegun tepezo kode kunge chipe shimpuro yuru umang beza gore pema sidi hung umang beza gore pema sidi hung umang beza gore pema sidi hung she gyasa samda Tene sangze nam ram yam kam ke sangjang zhu sum ta nam ga zhe nga len sum so ke chin lab la om ma hung nam sa wa ta ta ga de ba yi bi shim ke be sarva de gam ga de sa par na yima ga ga na kam so ha dum ri je no so ta me ne nam sarva ta ga de ba yi bi shim ke be sarva de gam ga de sa par na yima ga ga na kam so ha nam sa wa ta ga de ba yi bi shim ke be sarva de gam Sabarana Mangagana comes so, Dum the Genos of Dominion, Sujin Zibidu, and the Zumishi to the Genopenos, the Zibidu. Chipati, Lamaidam Dagi Chusunda, Chuji Giving Gorjing down, the Nijida Religia doing Cabra, Dagaseto Sogojin, Nedong, Parche, Sumbejum, Minum doesn't end the thing the game of the Chudu Tabata, said another Kilija. Chipani de Pushimajina, two, the Nalosa de Monam, the Jamavamela, Jelda said on a year ago to do good, and I'm going to give you to the way you desire my promo, Dagatum Sabit, the grip down, Kuju de Jokolaja, Jizim Jedi, Tayurji, Michinos, come to the Kuzajabetu Mumizepa. Giving him on a kibiji, Michi, showing a chujin. The gentleman is a kib you bear comes on good Rogello, good to Guji, Bursa, Yesho, Umahung, 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 Kusuda Banugijeso, Chuno the Zona Zezubona, to Zijo Pananga. Kurwanya da zamete jijo tomete na tata inji de no zeno de juba yono sanam de bayu de taji takum je be perje kunsen mi jongo zanto ge kai so jono bongo tu de sember jo kurwa ge so chimbo tom betaro me pe ma de borsange sho bongom se zeta dan se je por karma je se do tu nin je se je nga no ze ko de je nga je no do so ge be se je pe u ge le ja tan be change je ta de ge na me ne to lo sha ma un de pe ko lo ma ju chi so dar chan de po sem ba ye dom je la ba sang tam ze re so da ma se nye ba to lo sha ne de Nedun Tipdamisa, Tayurchik, Nemusunikaba, Shiguchi, Tami Usung, Sumado, Chuzelama, the Nepachito, Piutami shipping, Saruyaboso, Dubado, Chipochibo, Churudo, the Jagan Tamishibato. Tamsigumbo to the new Bado. There is one, I don't know which translation, but here, Dacha Korsutami, The last one is Damsi Gungpo Tuto Nupa Do. That's missing in those who have two. The English English transliteration is all right, but there's in the Tibetan letter there's Dacha Ganetemishiva twice. That's wrong. Those who are reading Tibetan, you should read the English translation at the end called Tamsi Gungpo Tuto Nupa Dok. Okay, so there's some mistake in printing. The last line. Then, so there's now the Jala practice, the guardian angel practice, how to raise that. Ke jalong ishe tanda kolo sisum gyu me dogo nangse kyun telong lunja taba ramja ngang kyo be jala ma gyu suji yu namse kyo na liji tu zeta. Liji tilin ku lamo gyu be sawe ko de jimje sunje pong zebe chinze bulo de jiji namke nuyang tuzum dalwe kyun. Duyunja pung punzo nubure tube zunyi sipar yuwa gu machi dali yuwa kyorabu kime ngana kiwe ranjinji churum dine nyumbe nganjang su pensu susu zina machi yang mata nangsu yu me rupale tari zi chungu san yu pedun rabun jumbe sunja rida pung dali gibu pau ngarke chen Kamsu yu le gewe pangde de, cha cheng lam chen chudang samba de, chudang dena zin jing zhawo ju, wene jila de be, sewa song shena wandu de be tine zu. That's the guardian angel transmission, how to raise that, Jala or the warrior deity, and then Yanguk. Now it's called summoning prosperity here, the English translation was summoning prosperity, summoning positive energy. Ke jelu duji chugu yang la de nga ma ga jase tik le yang na se o se ka chu ying ne ku jelu po wa chim ngu du so gu ru be po de ke ling ku yu tam jala da la mo ga chu du ngu du bu chi sam yang ku ji se be sunum ge be ngu du zu si chi du gu pung be yang la de ke ne che tu shu nu la so Bunu jizan de gu yang gu ji punzo pa ju ngu du punzo pa ju ngu du tam chi zu yang chang ta shi da da chi ma dang se be la jin ge be chu ze be pu ne nu jin ching nu yang ku pu ne nu jin ching nu yang ku da ni su men de me ngu du zu pa na de sem par ba pu nun dang ke chu dur je le be sam dun du yu chu de la ta shi pal ba dang kar ba tam che tar be kar ba tam che ta be chin le zu shi we le ze jang sun de num ki ne dun de ru chi be chin le zu ke be le ze ni chin ru num ki se dang su num ge be ngu du zu wang ge le ze pe ma ru ki comes on the bengu to chapel is a legatum. Dragis junior bengu to Sunday Madu bengu to. So that is the Yanguk practice. And when you do the Yanguk practice, you can repeat this 3 times or 7 times, Now, for example, when you do the Ryu Sancho practice, if you have time, sometime if you just want to dedicate the whole day, let's say you're doing the Ryu Sancho practice whole day, like we do sometime, 100,000 times or 1,000,000 times. Very, very powerful. Let me tell you a story. My teacher, Soksir Rinpoche, one of the great Dzogchen masters today living on this earth, many of they are very now from the early generation, the great master of Dzogchen today. Now they're from the early generation. Now there is Dodrupchen Rinpoche, and Rinpoche now in his 90s, I believe, and Soksir Rinpoche also in his 90s, and then in Tibet recently, Tulku Tupsang Rinpoche of the Payul tradition, great master, Rinpoche passed into parinirvana also. Now you see many of the great lamas from the early generations, they have passed away. So now the younger generation lamas are today there. But these are the early generation masters who came from Tibet. So Rinpoche, when he was in Ladakh, Soksir Rinpoche lived in Ladakh, in the 1980s. I think for a number of years he lived. And one time there was a locust attack. And as you all know, the destruction locust creates, eating all the crops. And then in a nomadic land, like where Rinpoche was living, was a place called Hanle, and there's like about 14,000 feet. And so there's not much rice or anything grown like that, but there's like a nomadic pasture land. And when the locusts come, wherever they land, there's some kind of acid, they pee or whatever, and it's get dry. So, and of course there's some field also, they eat the, agriculture and plants and everything. And the whole valley is filled, you all know how locusts come. They just come like, how many billions and billions of them. And that came from across the border, from the, Tibet, from the other side. And then, so now, that definitely is like agriculture and big problem, it's like swimming all over. If you're driving on the road, like, the road become red because, you can't just remove one locust. They're like thousands and thousands. The whole road is filled. So the road become red with blood, when you drive on that. So then the local administration said that they're going to request the central government or the state government how to, deal with that problem. And the local officials suggested they're going to bring spray and kill, the locusts. And then how much you can kill? It's not just like few of those. It's like tens of thousands, the valley filled. And Rinpoche said, don't do that. That's not a good idea. First of all, the reason locusts come is karmic debt. It's like, our negative karma ripening in karmic debts. So by killing is not going to make it better. It could get worse. Our karma can go through even more suffering, more problems. So instead, let's do a river sanctuary, So at that time, then in his monastery, Rinpoche has altogether about like, from other monasteries, also Rinpoche requests them to come, and then they all participated. About 400 or 500 nuns, monks, they all gathered, and they did 100 million Ryu Sangchu, like that. Because as I said, the Ryu Sangchu is offering to the 4 guests, the triple gem. First guest is the triple gem. Second guest is protectors. Third guest, the beings of the 6th realm. And the 4th guest is karmic debts, those who owe karmic debts from us. So when after completing, I think, is 100 million or more than 100 million, then what happened one day, all the locusts become like caught together like a big ball. And they all came to Rinpoche's monastery outside, there's a big field. If you go on the YouTube, you type Hanle, it's a big pasture land. And the Tashi Chuling is the Rinpoche's monastery, nunnery. Though in the Hanle there are 2 monasteries. One is the main Hanle monastery, which is His Holiness Drukshin Rinpoche is the main Lama. It's under the Hemis monastery. Hemis monastery about like 30 branches, I think more than 30 branches of monastery. And so there's that which is the main Kagyu monastery, and here's Rinpoche's Tashi Choling, which is the nunnery. So then in front of the nunnery, there's a big, the whole valley of Hanle is big pasture. So then all become like a big ball, huge ball, and they were like next to where they were doing the ceremony. And then it remained like that, I don't know for how many, few days. And then one day, they all went across the border. Everyone saw that. That was like, so this is how, once the karmic debt is purified, then it gets solved. So how much life Rinpoche was able to save, Otherwise, they would have just sprayed and killed. You weren't able to succeed just by spraying and killing a locust attack, It's just like not a patch of it, but so the whole valley failed. So therefore, that's one of the story. And so therefore, Rinpoche says, really the practice of River Sangchu is so powerful that if we do this, it can solve many of our problems. And those who are doing it, you will experience in your day-to-day life. And then also, you don't have to, usually you have to make a fire, but now we have the incense, River Sangchu incense, that you can just light a small incense. It's a special incense, not any kind of incense. We have here, in our store, the small, it's a particular incense. It's made in Nepal, by Umze Namgyal at Dujum Gompa. And so it's a small packet, and you can, cut that like into half, depending how much you want to do, and then you sprinkle water and you can do with that. So, there's also that possibility. Or you can make a fire and bring all the food ingredients. So anyway, so that is I've given you now the River Sangchu transmission, and the transmission on the Drala, warrior deity, and the transmission, the Yanguk, the summoning prosperity, like that. And then at the end, then you say, Gyalwa Chube. Now, this is the dedication prayers. Gyalwa Chube ni gyurje, tamje do dam gun gyurje, ruru do basm gyurje, lenja shagun jen gyurje, sonye yonsu zo gyurje, tumye pajata gyurje. Tamba gunyi to gyurje, jimba gyachin gyurpa de, to robe dun do rang jonsan gyesho, ngungi gyalwa namge ma robe, kewe sonum jimbe to gyurje. Jumbo gada dine gyo la gyo dam sa mu de banang kog yang ro, kewe namla tado jamji jen, ngenda sindu chola chubursho. Gyalwa de kewe gonu sonam mishe sozo shi, sonam mishe la jungwe, tamba gunyi to bursho, bedang suwe ma go shing. Okay, so that is the transmission on the River Sangchu and the Drala and the Yanguk. Now I will give transmission on the Nolsang, Padmasambhava Nolsang. Padma Sambhava Lanamo Lubapema Jungne ki Samye Chimbu Taputu. Drupazebe se gebu tisu disingi kokam yuring madijing yul tu tsase ser sum neyam muke so midebe sema mondu jungwe lumbo nimki tuyo jine mempa mo ma jiba kang la kang gupe ne chak tsa tau pe mempe jane ne duwaji tsani mindu chingtipki tsaji du pe mizangwe nyungne chigimba da zere tere mame mo taw tsipe si chipe tamje she jimbar mizangwe nuldipki gyabodang yula tamje chukdu zewa le te mema mutsi so ki gyuken kang tabu nolwe ma she gyabodzimo mangza te cham jawala tsoknulki pu chigi chungwa tsumu 상네 구무직라 때때 규기 수경매 동거를 배바 갈체 zirwashin 콜무 서부직도 배바 사다게 때월 체배 사다 유라 탐체라 미상웨 디포네 축배 결보 당 율감 탐체 메데와 중 데르 콜모 양 미상웨 디포네 네 나데 고다이나 탐제 샤tum도 송 멤바 pene tempe duwa namshi ne mindu mizangwe nul dukbe kanki nul mishe pege kiki ne dila pembe tabshin me sewana ter kulmu tijam ki pu bezul nam shibdu shepe chingme nime gyalpo nyendu sen gebu tijam pene tipe tijam ki kolmo la songin yung gone tambur ma shupe gelbo to gon tile ti cham la chepa chu gong ba la Ticham Uyen Rinpoche Jungdu, Gyapsol to Song, there Uyen Rinpoche, Gabula Chaudu, Yigedanche Pakurne, Tatsumo Ticham de la Chepa Chebu, Paragopa Dayang, Nanang Si de Medu to Benel Jeropain, Nasogin Nawa Tende to Gurisheba Yimpe, Misam Nultip Debe, Yumontungi, Tipians Sabar Chenu, Charlava Signum, La Tunchive, Seltab Yu, Zedan Yu, J. D. Dragope, Tamche, Sopragila, Yapu, Tuktel Minor, Sang, Gelon, Korche, Sami, Heburi, Simur, Shunjik. Che sung du pe gebo shin du ga de ze dang yu che nam sa ne sang he bo ri se mu chu pa la de lu bun jin bo pem ne sang gi ze nam tam nu yang shin ga che be nang du se de cho ga ni de de sung so ge ge sim je gu nya ma ri de be ne yu mo tu ngi she lang anu Gusum Miguel Lunga Yisum no Durumia Beluki Condono, Tamsian Bedo Jelopeno, Sotor Chungwe Madan Condono, Punyam la Michigan Suma. Senasa Becas on them geno, Tizi to Besi Mamano, Sidon to be Chela Jimdeno, Shidan to be Chivelanum, Naja to be Kivelanum. The Chat to be one Gilanum, Tato to be Tapelanum, Timu to be Sajelanum, Karmar, Tabja Yula Yibono, Tapgun to be Jela Yibono, Misan to be Kimna Yibono, Misan de Megunjalanum, Kipra Misan Pumepam. Demo Basum Talunum. No Pula go no Kimla Kimda no, Lunga Yidan Talatala no, Keke, Lunu Luki, Nayam Lutop Shoro, Gujiro, Najim Mingmis, Langano, Kega Kujima Mede, Chino, Chilla Mojino Sujago down, Yeno Yimidi Sipaza, Jingin Yitip, Chinji Semoye, Guno Gokur, Mide Nawa, Yelano Vichum, Digina, Poseno Mede, Sakarmang, Useno Siki Kinduchi. Captain Novishi, Limito, Gola, Dala Noveta Sitagardan, Chila Nove Gotum Tolande, Dola Nove Donum Tomato, Shila Nove Shila de Meso, Yula Nove Nang to Mogejung, Angla Nove Sergeant Sandajing, Dala Nuna Shuju. Shujin Dojuruma, Nola Nove, Donji Pemenu, Chula Nove, Puji Tengu, Shila Nove, Shizakuboton, Tabla Nove Jumet, Donji, Tolana Sakarumboju. Cosenuna Gorena Zodo, Tabanuna Galdogolanium, Gujinuna Kigasin, Kajuna Mara Limotion. Kajuna Mara Limojo, Montana Jing, Wombojo, Lundilano seemed to Demetu, Lukilano. You did Tambanyam. Lugilunu Sharudan, Talan, Tadan Sidanium, Captain Hasun Nasimidi. The Lulanuna Shajunium Dojo, Reno Ruguzu Simpodan, Tano Tiglim, Melo Nataza, Pano Chubu Dojizaduce, Shigu, Nule Shadum Tijin, Dang, Punolobu, Nam Jiji Lokitu, Shayam Menol Sonol, Mukinul Yuxeno Darapchipumano, Nelpu Mo Sen Dasenzapenu, Senul Kunul Tabjun Kumbe. Kunginul, Shiwe to the Sumbenamenu, the Jishambana Zentivenu, Punyamisa Yeta Luginu, Telasoben de Jungwetamanga Litubai. Saladin Jichu Yerabdule, me to Yelunga of Gube, Sawa Luin and Ekibation, Simo, Lain as Sumibation, Ludap, me in a Sukabation, T. Chonamuli Cabation, Kato to Runichu Dembation. Shinjos in the Karma Agaro, sitting by Yushin Shubatan, Dujibalu Tabapengatan, Bobanunia Tea, Serago, Tang, pushing machine. Pushing Shineso, Debusungara sound to a meneso, Tideruna, Runu, Katankaveri, Neteto, Sova Yunkartan, Duna, Karna, Dui Richitan. Tazarun Jesi Shimada, Sergim Chanda, Shindokovechu, Karsum, Pedang, or Sum, Tang, Matang, Shatalansu, Umponum, Chingela Betamzin, Karmaratan, Kokukana, Tipenazo, so Chinang Sang Sum, Rudy Sevese, Message to Lunget Abdrobe. Lamkajin to Domba Jurbenga, Ramni Kebemela Sebaye, Tijo Sunabanazuki, Ishidemenga to Sang Guruchi, Keke, Mariwanganaju, Ishesa, Tungi Wanganuna, Sangesan, Guzumegana, Kuzumnasa, Dutumjik Benuna, Luki Kandosan, Punyam Hamenuna, Chigon Sumasang. Sodo Chungwenuna, Madan Kandosan, Tamzin Penuna, the Joloposan, Sedon Tupenuna, Chetan Jimri. Tamzenuna, Tanri Gumbosan, Sena Sapenuna, Sena Sapenuna, not like Yanasan, Kunti Misanuna, Kasundam Jason. Tinzi Tupenuna, Sibe Mamosan, Sidon Tupenuna, Nijedunamsan, Shidan Tupenuna. shiwe la namsang nga ye chukbe no na gebe la namsang deja chukbe no wange la namsang chado chukbe no na chapo la namsang timo chukbe no na salje la namsang nutiwe chukbe no na yula yinbo sang tabgun chukbe no na kyuna yinbo sang nyamja time no na lakbe la namsang misang ti no na gujya la namsang tabje tusi no na sige la namsang na zin tiwe no na pola tala sang diji shambe no na lakbe la namsang mi misano na sangche la nam sang shibe ro tibe no na thala yin bo sang sube pangme no na go we la nga sang tabge no na khang la thala sang shibge no na phala mala sang yukse no na mala posi sang luchi no na lingye la nam sang nga ne sungye ga chak tong la nam nga ne sungye chak tong la nam sang yin ne je sal tong la nam sang yin la no na che la do na sang ke mukpa tambar chepe lanam sang tipa sangbar chepe lanam sang sangso yebar chepe lanam sang nola sangbar chepe lanam sang kebar mizang pe me pa ma ye tenwa parsum lalu nyala so pula kono kimla tang dunga yi dan chala tang nola yang la ko no ro long chu la nulde me sang te me ko banam zeshi me ju jesu na so tang china su su de pa me ki mizang nulde wete ma sangyuru chi Ye chingzi desa mengi doba di lama yidam noba sangyo chik. Ishe lanam tsoge no yona men na tsenden ti sangyo chik, jiden lanam tsoge no yona pukar shikne ti sangyo chik. Masengo do tsoge no yona gana bade ti sangyo chik, chugyon suma tsoge no yona shera naso ti sangyo chik, tsari kumba tsoge no yona. Karsum ngarsum ti sangyo chik, lasin dike tsoge no yona, shinsi menje ti sangyo chik, kasung dimje tsoge no yona. Shamara kunti sangyo chik, lana mizan tsoge no yona, pukar shikne ti sangyo chik, luna mizan tsoge no yona, lume naso ti sangyo chik, yena mizan tsoge no yona. Tarsun taksi ti sangyo chik, sada mizan tsoge no yona, nyede sirgo ti sangyo chik, neda mizan tsoge no yona, taba sirgo ti sangyo chik, shida mizan tsoge no yona, kemba sido ti sangyo chik. Yula mizan tsoge no yona, banyo korsum ti sangyo chik, nola mizan tsoge no yona, shamar sepo ti sangyo chik, yana mizan tsoge no yona. Rinche naso ti sangyo chik, kana mizan tsoge no yona, tasab naso ti sangyo chik, tabla mizan tsoge no yona, shebu chungbu ti sangyo chik. Shingla mizan tsoge no yona, duze naso ti sangyo chik, pola mizan tsoge no yona, taso naso ti sangyo chik, tada mizan tsoge no yona. Shamra pakim ti sangyo chik, chala mizan tsoge no yona, dekar sishu ti sangyo chik, donla mizan tsoge no yona, chajan siskim ti sangyo chik. Songla mizan tsoge no yona, rajin surga ti sangyo chik, lula mizan tsoge no yona, kuku kana ti sangyo chik, sungyo lanam tsoge no yona, shingde mido ti sangyo chik, rijal lanam tsoge no yona. Yushu balu ti sangyo chik, gyabna lanam tsoge no yona, pina shingna ti sangyo chik, luki kutsun tsoge no yona, rajin mina ti sangyo chik, seno lanjo tsoge no yona, shinjo ti zambige sangyo chik, shilgur jido china, sal gyuru chik. Ge lama yidam no yona yang, shinjo ti zambige sangyo chik, pao kondo no yona yang, shinjo ti zambige sangyo chik, chigan suma no yona yang. Shinjo te zaminge sangyo je pala punya leke no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je zangre lanam no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je lasin dike no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je jiten kyo no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je tenke lanam no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je Parke nyanam no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je oke lunam no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je shita neda no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo Chetan chimne no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je jiten lazo no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je shila neso no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo Gyuge lazo no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je gobe langa no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je mada puzi no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je Tala pembo no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je no la chukpo no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je lula membo no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo Rala sirmo no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je shingla sangpa no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je pula gedung no yona yang Shinjo te zaminge sangyo je gola taya no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je tala yumu no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je Pola tala no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je no la yang la no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je chula zola no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je Sela tula no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je chela tula no yona yang shinjo te zaminge sangyo je ke dajana jo 다차 내주로 코르체기 하던 수만노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 생유지 라간트면노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 생 사고 베트노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 생유지 라겐르노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 생유지 라즈농안노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 생유지 라제르견노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 생유지 라돈세금노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 생유지 타다심보노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 생유지 라예주보노와 연아양 신조 대상명계 sayuche la luto no wa yunayang shinjo desam mega sayuche sara tawo no wa yunayang shinjo desam mega sayuche sungwe damje no wa yunayang shinjo desam mega sayuche sungwe jinse no wa yunayang shinjo desam mega sayuche chze dubze no wa yunayang shinjo desam mega sayuche tenze no no wa yunayang shinjo desam mega sayuche tasung tu dange wa yunayang shinjo desam mega sangyuruchi gege daja bulno meno korjege si tene jinda minur chugla dukjing dige to keke daja polo mino kurjegi sige wonda no wa yonayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi kebe chiyon no wa yonayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi so weloyan no wa yonayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi shunu payan no wa yonayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi kebe tebiyan no wa yonayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi Mumbeso yana wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi tabe gyoyan no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi chuge peyan no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi sege chuyan no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi simbe tobiyan no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi chube no yan no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi Pembada yana wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi zinjo penso no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi shenyang Nelzuro daja korje ki kyumbe perku no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi tabe koso no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi Nungwe sekum no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi shimanasa no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi duwe malde no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi Menirigyo no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi tendanguchi no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi senalonjo no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi Tabdangata no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi tatansita no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi setan sunam no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuchi Kaje wonda no wa yunayang shinjo dizamenge sangyuruchi keke shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunta Kurjiki nyumodunge dungwa sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunta Yunge dabo ye dochale yulungne sangyuruchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge Shedan lejun tine sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye teme lejun peke sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo Duwa namjene nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye nyinglun gyagune nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye Lozi luzene nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye chingyo sadane nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye selo tuwene nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye kalchuk lunyene nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye puchung yegone nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye godanyelane nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye shatan pokpene nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye chatan chusene nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate Tajajir yunge dabo ye rudan simbene nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye tsatan chukyune nam sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye danda wangbu nyamba sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye udan namshi nyamba sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye pada tuto nyamba sangyurchi shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye seda sunam nyamba sangyurchi Shinjo dizamenge tubate tatangyuchi yunge dabo ye kaje wangta nyamba sangyurchi te tarake mikse me na kungi tuni te jincha shenyan daja punlo koje la mena soge no da tebike no shinjo dizamenge sangyurchi taton shogun da yukse no shinjo dizamenge sangyurchi Jije rabje da zeno no shinjo dizamenge sangyurchi zichinzo dizin chongpo damyon Zejin Jombo, the Muntigino, Shinjo Dizam Mingi, Sanjuchi, Tijin Dingi, the Mutin, Shinjo Dizam Mingi Sanjuchi. She waited to Sumbe Pameno, Shibu Dizam Mingus, Shinjo Dizam Mingi Sanjuchi, Tijin Shambana, the Tibino, Shinjo Dizam Mingi Sanjuchi. Punya Misaya, the Lugino, Shinjo Dizam Mingi Sanjuchi, Shem, Misan de Maluga, Shinjo Dizam Mingi, Tisurki, Namgat Indigen to Sanjuchi, Nida Sakarjin to Seljuchi, Tawa Yanguchin to Peljuchi, Medo Dujin to Giguchi, don't get to touch in the Minguchi, Chaz a Lumbojin to Dinguchi.
고든 Rinpoche 중교제 주경에 다진도 세계제 코르마가소진도 팔주제 노주지진도 지진도 노르주 지진도 개교제 니다 루다진도 캡유제 세능내메데 나 땡규식 로야스니 뚱게뚱교제 자시들의 부숨소 교르지 제수네 게는코다 제반남 태소 마제 디 부르 냠레 체나 된다는데 바이노 송소 되네 예 게런 코르체 가진군에 이란데 sergemente puede chadan korwajin de ge to ke lo la gyun du nyam chidra cha den chidra la shu be lo ben jin jin ke yabu chimbola chire tajuru milu toba dona den du che go de tabsu chanju gi gyu dubala jidin da jidin le de bala no sumala suwa dabne chanju dube ge parche seljing chotumunguru tingin dubayimbe de chido ladang suma den gobayin sang jawani nyamong tu nge dimnul jongjing lada suma midewara kurbe tabayimbe yundu sang jawa dona debayin lasang nuldip misangwa nyurdu sebe tabsu ngato lasang cha chido no sang dang nultu chena twida misangwa tamje jang ladang suma kur seno nongchula jinja lugi jungwa cha nyum tadang sidang ge kamda wangpu se kungi idu de nangse lande kalani kekin parche ke time me go ba so yunde mangpo dan de ba yin sung so tene ge po shene lek so lo bin chimbola nultu jawa chi tere yin la jube lo bin chimbo jene nultu jawa ne chi donga so so luk tang dra je juro so yewa mangtu yu jawa di kap so kongi menze dan chi na so chuzang dan jane rimpoche pumpe nang tu luk la yul cho so chapter 10 na yul tu dang yang ku so tu ki ten nam la tu sul chawani ten tu dan mini chugne so la do jin nam jom cho misik du si ki wa so ki nga yal dan de be tip tu dan nurze so la tipo ne tu chap tembe chopa yin sung so de ne gebo chimbu ge shin gobe timoji de cha dong gro mang du je ne la ra po dang du shek so de ne yun ring malem para gel po nyu ne tang de yul kam pe du ta shi be ge de ma bo chu ngo lu ben ji bo pe ma ju ne ge be no sang la chap ngo mo je che bo so so no sang de dang sang in de le kun jung je ter pum de para pe har ko zu lingi chi kyam debri su tapra zepe sami lokti marta tele pegyun pelte ucho dene tele pelgyun pelte uzang chosu gachire peljing lapra lubun bero zane pe namte gyamo sawa rungdu pe lamshur domedu diri chuki takpala nangwani rimpari gyuti dokam mecho su tate partu par targe shindu chivu dila chonga kelun mangpo kadun lakti ki pegun tsik ri chungze dramin mangtu nangwale pe takpa gashik la shi cholte shuda che supe kultu jikti ishi durche zangshu supe wake sarva mangalam soti suktu kunsang tenzin tang gechong shaki mingzung ne chujin pardu tundi kyang shenla pempe shigyur chiks. So now you got the transmission on the Nolsang practice. So after so then there is a little historical comment here. So then after Guru Rinpoche, Padmasambhava, Guru Rinpoche gave the transmission, did the practice, then the king of Tibet, Trisong Devtsen, this is in 8th century, and the minister and this subject, they all, Guru Rinpoche said, do this without any doubt. And if you do this practice, it will bring you tremendous blessing and benefit. And then the king was so happy and offered mandala to Guru Rinpoche. And then king asked Guru Rinpoche, how one should practice this? And what is the meaning of that? Then Padmasambhava said, O great king, first of all, to achieve a precious human rebirth is difficult. And therefore, once we receive it, we have to make it the utmost proper use of this precious human rebirth. Not to squander this precious human rebirth, not to waste this, but make it the most useful. In order to do that, the method is, in order to, through this precious human rebirth, we have to achieve, the Bodhi state or enlightened state. In order to do that, we need many support, such as, we need the support, the protectors of the wisdom protectors as well as worldly protectors. We need their support so that our spiritual practice go without any obstacles and hindrance. And they will clear obstacles. And then the wisdom deity will give the supreme siddhi, and then the worldly gods and worldly deities will give us common siddhis. So common siddhis are like, wealth, power, healing, and many of those things. And wisdom blessing is the realization of the wisdom mind. So supreme siddhi, they are called supreme and the common siddhis. Supreme siddhi is enlightenment, common siddhi is the wealth, power, healing, all those things. So we need these two conditions. We need these conditions so that our precious human rebirth can be utilized in the best of the way without any, wastage. So therefore, we need to practice Dhammapalas, Guru Rinpoche said. And then the Sang means purification. What does it do? It purifies our five afflictive emotions, or five passions: our ignorance, attachment, aggression, jealousy, and envy. Those are the five main afflictions. And of course, the rest. So it purifies that inwardly. There's an outer purification, inner purification, secret purification, so to speak. And also, then by doing the Sang practice, our deities, protectors are always around us. Because if we are obscured, then they also get obscured. If we are clear, then our protector deities, guardian angel, they also become clear and strong. And so therefore, your mission in this life to achieve enlightenment and well-being, not only for yourself, for others, you can fulfill that. For that, you need the support of those deities too. So therefore, the Sang purifies and let us be in a state of clarity, let us be in a state of purity, and therefore all those deities gathers around you. And it purifies the obscuration, like Nyurtu means like immediately. It purifies. And that's very powerful. Now, when you do this practice, maybe after a few times, first of all, it's quite a long practice. And then once you start doing it, you will really experience, after doing a Sang practice, you feel like your heaviness, dullness, obscurations get lifted up, and you feel clear and well-being, That's something you can directly experience. So this is what Guru Rinpoche said. It can purify obscuration very quickly. And the way to do it is in the morning, like if there's a time, morning time you should do Rivu Sangchu, and the Nosang is done in the evening time, And of course, you can also do it in the daytime, but the proper time is to do the Nosang in the evening, with complement of the two, water purification, So you can do the morning time and then the water purification. Water purification is a whole different practice. It can be done through the practice of Namjum and Mewa Sekpa, And there's a whole different mantra, a whole different practice. Someday I will give that transmission. But right now, today, that's more than enough. But then water purification is really called Chhoje Mewa Sekpa, the deity Mewa Sekpa. Actually, it is said that for a Tantrika Vajrayana practitioner, it's a must. Because, after all, it's the energy. You see,
our whole phenomena is an energy realm. The nature of phenomena is emptiness. In emptiness, emptiness doesn't mean there's nothingness. Emptiness is a union of, energy. The energy essence is empty, and empty expression is energy. That's on the ultimate enlightened level. But then also on the worldly level, those who are not enlightened, you still have energy. Your mind still have the, clarity. You have intelligence. Though that intelligence is confused, is a misconstrued intelligence. So therefore, that misconstrued intelligence creates a obscuring energy. That's what happens, And so our afflictions create obscurations. And then from the subtle obscuration to that subtle habit, to the gross obscuration and gross habit. That includes our phenomenal of all kinds of crazy phenomena of heavy obscuration. We can see the display of that in war and conflict and craziness happening. Those are all expression of crazy obscurations. So and as long as those obscurations are left without purifying, then there's problem. There's physical problem and then mental problem. Just to summarize everything, within physical and mental, nothing is left. So basically, they're all by the energy. So therefore, the energy needs to be purified. Once the energy is purified, then the buddhi, there's channels, the wisdom channels begin to awake. Wisdom channels begin to awake is based on that purified energy. When the obscuring energy, it obscures our channels, and due to that, it's like curved. So anything curved is not straight, and then that brings affliction, experience of passions and neurosis and conflict and suffering comes from that. So the purification of energy is extremely important. I think one of the simple method, many of us do, when we wake up in the morning, we open our bedroom windows open. Well, there's the, fart at night and everything. So it makes you heavy and you don't like the smell. Whatever you want to clear the windows and doors and, cleanse it out. You see, that's also obscured energy we try to bring. And then we light incense, And so all these things purifies that obscure energy. And when that is purified, then you feel clear, you feel strong, physically you feel well-being, mentally you are joy and happiness. It comes like that. So therefore, energy is very important. Purification of the energy, extremely important. And after all our afflictions are impure energy, including our 5 passions, 5 neuroses, and what they create, the vapor of their 5 passions and neuroses are suffering. So they all get purified through very special method, and that method is the deity, the purifying deity called Mewa Tsekpa and Namjom. There are a few different practices, how from the sutra level and from the tantric level, different level of purification. But one of the profound practice on the tantric level is Mewa Tsekpa, the deity Mewa Tsekpa. And its mantra is quite long. But once you keep doing that, really it's a huge difference, how you can feel, even let's suppose, for example, in my own experience, if I go to like a, where they clean clothes, as I explained earlier, and then I feel like sometimes like heat upon me. And then I come out and then I do the mantra of purification. It clears away. Huge difference. So these are all like from your own experience, you can experience those things. So same thing with the Nolsang practice. It purifies those obscuration of all different kinds of obscurations. Energy, impure energy created by passions, or impure energy brought by substance or impure energy brought by meeting negative forces, all kinds of different impure energies, they all can be purified through the Nolsang practice. That's why it's called mountain purification practice or Nolsang. Nol means disturb, how to purify the disturbed impurity energy. Then, then in the evening you can do Nolsang. And when the Nolsang, when the garden deity get impure energy, then your whole, things get low. Nothing works well for you. Or your food, your wealth, and the place you live, when they get obscured, then the food doesn't have much nourishment. Your wealth seems to go away quickly out of your hand. And nothing, there's no chinchak means that, I think there's no grace, there's no blessing, there's no positive energy. It's just like floating around. And then you are physically, you may be unbalanced. So the Nolsang will purify all those obscuration, whether it's food or wealth or your place, and your body feel balanced, clear, strong inside, and the complexion of your skin, and they get like vibrant, and your faculties, clarity, and people enjoy seeing you, for example, and then the spirit will respect you and clears away your obstacles. So many benefit through this practice. Then king was very happy after Guru Rinpoche explained to him. And so Guru Rinpoche, and then when you do, for example, Guru Rinpoche also explained about the two, means purification to the deity or purification. Then you can purify your shrine on a good day, shrine. First you have to practice yourself. Then, you can purify your shrine. You can purify people who are sick, It's very interesting also. When you do purification to sick people, you can do that. But if that person is very heavy, like for example, the lamas are requested, and some lamas are reluctant to do that. Now, especially if it's their astrological typical year, or if they're not well themselves. You can do it for yourself, but when you do to others, you pick up their obscuration. It's very interesting. You feel like suddenly dawn with heaviness. The other persons get clear, So, of course, you shouldn't be, right now, you should be just doing that for yourself. After you build a lot of power, then, of course, a lot of power, then even you feel, but you can purify yourself. But it's interesting how obscuration, the reason I'm telling you how that obscuration is, really. You do the blessing to them, they get healed, but then you get like hit back. Like you take their energy, it comes upon you and you feel heavy. And of course, then you have to do your practice to purify that, But just telling you, interestingly, that's how true is. So some lamas, they don't do it. They say when they're not well, they wouldn't do it. Of course, they will do it to help beings, but sometimes there's some kind of like that. But when you do it for yourself, of course, it's the best. So these are not just like some kind of, blind faith or anything. These are actual experience. I'm giving an example of actual experience. So then and then you can also do, for example, to your clothes. If your clothes, for example, I do it when I send my clothes to dry cleaning. Even they clean the clothes, but it's put with so many other dirty clothes, so it really get messed up with energy level. So sometimes I use incense after I bring it from a dry cleaning. So, of course, it's up to you how you
But that's, if you really want to purify obscure energy of so many other people, that's also. So it like in a house, and then your vehicle, can also, sometime pick up. So it's basically energy which can be brought in various different avenues, how it can come. So it's good to purify all of those from time to time for your well-being. This is all how to preserve your precious human rebirth, so that your physical well-being, mental well-being will support your Dharma practice, and then do great for yourself and for all being. This is the whole point. So that is the practice, Nolsang practice, and now we will do a Ryo practice together. And those who don't know how to do, I think I will ask Genevieve, while Jim is doing the sang, you can show the camera down. All the codes. We can't take this camera through the window.
It has to be attached to the HDMI cable. So I messed everything up actually. I was texting with Jim to see. He said it might be difficult.
Difficult. Okay.
But Jim did a video that we sent to people.
Yeah, you send the video?
Yeah.
That's very good. So then you know how to do it. But let's do a real Sancho practice together. Yeah. Take like 5 minutes break. Everyone, you need to go to bathroom, whatever. Then let's all get together. Yeah. Question. Okay, we will do that after the practice. Yeah. Is the fire on?
You want him to put the stuff on?
Just wait a minute, few minutes. People are going to bathroom. Jim, fire is ready? And you send the picture to everyone, video to everyone. Thank you, that's good.
Words get like pulled out.
They're also easy to push in.
Tracy, do you have the Dharamsala calendar? Dharamsala calendar, Tibetan calendar. Can you
see that for a moment, please. Okay.
Oh, we have the wall camera.
I have the wall camera on now. There won't be a relation, no. You got a little extra too.
That's good. Are we gonna do no sound too, Rinpoche?
No, just Ryu Sangchu.
All right, I'm ready when you are.
Okay. Okay, so everyone must be back. So now let's, first we will start with these 8 noble auspicious prayer, 1 time, and then 7 land prayers 3 times, and then we go straight to the Ryu Sangchu practice. You can see the fire outside picture. Maybe you can, put from this side, Genevieve, this where there's no metal screen. If you put the camera, so okay, good, okay. Namda Raji Lundo Be Raji Joji Jina Yuba Yi Sangi Shodangi de Pape Kunla chase dacha tashi sho demi gyalpo tselten dundugu chembe nyembe gada pada. Kunla gumba jajira daba jen lumbo darba tselda beldani simje damje lagung dab. Isim zeba tsiraba dabel de tsinzam tebe dashi bebebe dewara shikpa gyala chasal. Jambe juno palden dorje zin chere singwa gumbo jambe pe sai nyumbo deba number. Namge nyumbo pajo gundu zang ube duje pegara lushinda nubo dawa reldi nyuma. Chase le nam tashi palgi cho chanju semba gelaj. Chasa lo rinjin dujo tashi sirgi nya dujung punza yung kama. Nyenda dunda punzo pepe u minu geze wanjiru kolo de rinjin tajo jegi chane. Chudu yewa chujin gije ma gizo ngo timpe pepe we tashi lamo ngela chasa. Samba jimbo dejung seme bu mikdo nenda gelbo yul korsung pake bodan luwa mimi. Namde sede laze kolo dan tishu la dan dung doje zen piwaan ralti chuden gazi. Sasum nesu gilik tashi pe jite kyunwa gela chaza lo dacha tingdiri jawa zumba. Gidan nyewar tsewa kunji ne dudun bebe samdu yijin rup tashi dele pusum zo parashu. Everything okay? Is the camera working? So people can hear me?
Yeah, it's working for you, Rinpoche. It's just this camera.
Oh, okay. Yes. So today I'm not going to write now 8 auspicious noble prayer. You can do that in English later. Right now I don't have the text. We'll go through the English translation of the Ryu Sanchu. Hongurge yuge nubjansa bema kesar dombola yenzen choge ngodobni bema jungne jesu kurdo khandro mambe kor kegi jesu da tubi chinge lobje shizu guru bema sidi hong urge yuge nubjansa bema kesar dombola yenzen choge ngod bema jungne jesu da kurdo khandro mambe kor kegi jesu da Chinge lobche shikso sol guru pema sidi hung urge yuge nubja. Pema ke senumbo la yenzen choge ngudub nye pema jungne shiso. Kurdo kando mampe kor kegi jesu da tubi chinge lobche shikso. Guru pema sidi hung. So now let's go straight to the Ryu Sangchu. Oma hung kanyam si shi kyab gu nying bu ju wang da jik zi bema tu ting sel. Ke kuro nang si gyalwe kil koro zo drogun si le dolchiri kyab su chi. Oma hung kanyam si shi kyab gu nying bu ju wang da jik zin bema tu ting sel. Ke kuro nang si gyalwe kil koro zo drogun si le dolchiri kyab su chi kanyam si shi kyab gu nying bu ju wanda rikzin pema tu ting zel kyo kuro nang si gyalwe kil kuro zo drogun si le dolchiri kyab su chi Om Hung, quiescence of all refuges, or possibility and peace equal to space. Powerful, rightful awareness holder, Padma Tuting Cell, within your body, appearance and possibility, and the mandalas of the victorious ones are complete. In order to liberate all beings from possibility, I go for refuge.
Then, normally this is 3 times refuge. And then the bodhicitta, which is the next. Sangcho yishe wasel tegle shir drogun dipsum dane kudang sung. Tuge tegle re lundu nangshi ngang shunu pumkuru drog sem ge do. 2 more times. Sangcho yishe wasel tegle shir drogun dipsum dane kudang sung. Tuge tegle lundu nangshi shunu pumkuru jowara sem keto sanjo yishe osel tegleshir drogun dipsum dane kudangsum tuki tegle lundu nashinga shunu pumkuru jowara sem keto. In English, the supreme purification offering is the sphere of primal knowing luminosity. Within this basis, the 3 obscurations of all beings are purified, and the sphere of naturally self-accomplished body, speech, and mind become the state of the 4 vision. I generate the awakening mind of liberation into the youthful vast body. Then the 7 branch offering. Shirig machu nyungmara chasel shing tingta trebe wose chöpab. Korwa nyangde nyamni longdu sha lode chöze chimpo jeirang. Lundu zokpa chimpe chokorokor. Korwa tongne chukpura sowa deb. Korso migda telbe patara ngo. Paying homage in the uncontrived, innate state of awareness, I offer luminosity beyond profundity and limit. Within the expanse of the equality of samsara nirvana, I make confession. In the great exhaustion of phenomena beyond mind, I rejoice. Turn the dharma wheel of naturally self-accomplished great completeness. Dredge the very depth of samsara, I pray. Free from the conceptual limit of subject, object, and action, is the dedicated image transference. Dakini, from the self-visualization, Kata chuku ying le game ze, Pema te ten karamara shun sul ze, Sempe zi parador je te panam, Zeji gendan cha che yung su zo, Tam yi ni me gyal kun du pe su, Korde kun ki chi pele chim poro gyur. From the fundamental space of reality, original purity, the unobstructed manifest energy, is Padma Thirting, white with a red radiance, youthful, beautiful, signs and marked brilliant, holding a vajra and skull cup, majestic ornament and accessories complete. The sacred commitment and primal knowing beings are non-dual. The form that encompasses all the victorious ones is the great universal glory of all of samsara nirvana. Now you should visualize yourself into Guru Rinpoche and recite the Vajaguru mantra, as well as, or you can visualize Padmasambhava in front of the space, and then you're getting the blessing while you're chanting the Vajaguru mantra. Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam. Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, 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 Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam. Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, 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 Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam. Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, 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 Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam. Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam. Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam, Om Mam Bhajaguru Pamsidam. Om Bhajagori Pamasidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, 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 Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, 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 Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, 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 Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, 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 Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, 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 Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Om Bhajagori Pamsidum, 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 Om Bhajagori Pamsidum. Then reciting like about 100 times, one mala. Then now you know the food offering is in the fire, and then you take a water from the pumpa or from a bottle, clean water, and then you purify the food substance by saying Ram, Yam, Kam, purified by wisdom fire and wisdom wind and wisdom water, like purify Ram, Yam, Kam, Oma, Hung. Dongpe ngangle sangze zakwa mepe yishiki duchi deyun gyazu timpung kagyabdu jowara gyur. From the state of emptiness, the substance of the purification offering become incorruptible primal knowing elixir, an ocean of desirable qualities belonging clouds pervading sprays. Omahung. Now this is called Namkha-jogi Chagya, the mudra of multiplying. Namkha-jogi means this, the treasure of space. This is the mudra. Nama sarva tata gada baye bishu mugupe sarva te kam sabarana ima gakana kam soha. Nama sarva tata gada baye bishu mugupe sarva te kam gate sabarana ima gakana kam soha. Nama sarva tata gate baye bishu mugupe sarva te gam sabarana ima gakana kam soha. So this multiplies the food offering into like infinite offering. Now the actual practice. Drum rinje na zo dang me nu yang su jig den si pe de gu dam si ze dru sum yi she du siri jin la pe nang si chu pe de guru jik pa di lama yi dam ja ki chu sun dang Chhoje gyalwe kilkuro chinye tang zamni shi da rikto lencha dun kepra da ki seto soku shing ne don par che zumpe jungbo tang milam da che ngen da dengen rik dege ma rung Chhoje da bo tang se da ne da nor ki len cha chen tib da nyo de po shin mo shin tang ti wo te ra zhong sin de mo nam len cha ma ra pe me la sek de chel rang rang yi la gang gu de gu chel chi si nam ka ne ki par ni tu de pe yun ten se pa me pra ngo da ki tu sumo sa be tik jib tang kun jo te shin ko la che pa nam jin se mi chu de ye ta gyuru chik mi che nang se kang we dul chen re ku zang che pe tempo mi se pa ge we shin kam yong la kyab gyuru chik mi che yi she nge chu jin zer rik tu nar me ne su kyab gyuru pe kam sum koro wa jalu kuru trol Drogun chan chu nying poro sangye shu. Now in English translation, page 4. Drum, within a vast radiant vessel made of variegated jewels, the myriad desirable of the universe of possibility are the substance of sacred commitment, transformed into a primal knowing elixir by the blessing of the three syllables. This array of appearance and possibility as myriad desirable is offered to the gurus, devatas, and dakinis, the protectors of the teachings, and the countless mandala of the victorious ones of the 10 direction, to the local spirit of this earth, the beings of the 6th realm, and the guests to whom I have karmic debts, especially those who would steal my life force and cut short my life, to the elemental spirit who caused sicknesses and gathered obstacles, bad signs and dreams, and all types of bad omens, to the 8 classes of devas and demons, those who create perverse illusion, and to all karmic creditors of food and place and wealth, to obscuring spirit, demons of insanity, and male and female ghosts, to all vampires, goblins, village ghosts, and demonesses. All karmic debts are repaid through being burned by the red flame. Whatever each desire, may those desirable things rain down. The scope of possibility, equal to the extent and duration of space, is dedicated as an inexhaustible array of desirable qualities. May the evil deeds and obscuration which we have gathered throughout the 3 times, and indulging in what has been offered to the 3 jewels on behalf of the faithful and the dead, be purified by the sacrificial fire offering. Jinsik sacrificial, don't understand that as some animal. There's no animal sacrificial here. It's just like fire offering, basically, purified fire offering. May the flames engulf in appearance and possibility in each and every atom become the inexhaustible billowing clouds of Samantabhata offering, pervading all the pure realms of the victorious one. The rays of offering and generosity and the flames of the five-colored lights of primal knowing pervade the abodes of the six classes of being and the hell of unceasing torment. The three realms of samsara self-liberate into the rainbow light body. In the heart of awakening, may all migratory beings become Buddhas. Migratory being. Well, there are different translations. Basically, Dro Kun means all sentient beings become Buddhas. Omahung, 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 Omahung. Now you can visualize the offering of the food offering in the fire into five sense pleasure. Each and every, like four guests, whatever they pleases, like of course to the Buddhas, since they're remaining in the Dharmakaya mind, it's not that they need some food, but for our own accumulation of merit, we make this offering of all the five pleasurable objects. In the eyes, the beauty; in the ears, the music; in the nose, the smell; in the mouth, the taste; in the sensation. All those pleasurable and whatever desirable object that we feel the highest of the highest in the universe, make offering to the Buddhas, to the Lama, Yidam and Dakinis, and then to their protectors, and the beings of the sixth realm, to we have so much karmic debts, make offering to them in dedication. And then on the lowest level is the harmful spirit, those who are creating harm, not just to ourselves, but also to others. You're making offering, and each and every one of those spirits, they receive what they desire for, and then their heart and mind turns into compassion and stop harming being, and then they also get benefits. So this is the, offering of the five inexhaustible, like not just small, but the whole space filled, making offering to them. And then to the local spirit, wherever you are, there's a local spirit. So making offering to them. Omahung, 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 and all to the, in the triple gem mandala, you should also visualize medicine Buddha, making offering to them, and they sending the healing energy to the world. Omahung, 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 to the Buddhas of long life, to the Buddhas of healing, and 8 manifestation of Padmasambhava, and the great Milarepa, and Gewalong Shinpa, and Bemala Mitra, all the Vidyadharas, and 80 Mahasiddhas, and 25 great disciples of Padmasambhava, all the mandala you can visualize, filled the Buddhas of the 3 times, all the 8 great bodhisattvas, all of them you're making offering. Omahung, 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 Omahung. Omahung, 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 Omahung. Then among Dharmapalas, Mahakala, Ekajati, Kali Devi, Jagmin, and all the protectors and protectors of the Dharma. Omahung, 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 Omahung. Then on the beings of the 6th realm, like your parents from the past who you still owe debts and you're not able to repay, and you owe those debts, and then so many different beings and so many levels that you owe debts, making offering the 5 pleasurable objects to them. So like this, infinite offering, not just small one, the whole universe filled with, offering, and each and every being they receive, and their mind turns into bodhicitta mind, and they receive and they get healed. Those who don't have eyes, they get eyes. Those who don't have limbs, they get limbs. They all get healed and well-being and happiness, and then, repaying all your karmic debts through 5 inexhaustible, pleasurable objects. And then all infused with bodhicitta nectar, the nectar of bodhicitta. So their mind also, their body, speech, and mind obscurations are purified, and they also achieve enlightenment. Omahung, 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 omahung. Good smoke. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Also, the container of the fire offering is not just a small hibachi or small thing. You should visualize into a five, into a like the cauldron, like big as a universe, made of all the gold and five precious, precious object made of that, and inside then all the food is like not just a small but like universe big, making offering of the five sense pleasurable objects offering. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. In appearance, they are pleasurable object. In essence, they are wisdom nectar. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Is Kyle here? Omahung, omahung, omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. He didn't came? Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, omahung, omahung. You send the message, huh? Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Omahung, 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 omahung. Tell Jim not to put any more. That's enough. Mina sen me na suge lebe de pusun sobar chubuni me de yon jo na ma suge garbani bite gelmun de je pal bar sho na mo la me me kimne kunjusum chunye de no ma da shin ji je je na ne de me de da jabun je ko je ge gonje ko de da do je bo je mo da je je mo me pone tige bo sang ze bo de ye tige bo sang garba de je tige bo sang ro ba ne je to de ringa tige bo sang humzer ko le tige bo da je je bo de sang fasin de tige bo sang no ze le tige bo sang ni la je 세근je tige bo sang ku je tige bo sang do na no da no me de le chu nim de dong gun ji ha ma ma san ji ji fa san mo ze to de ne de be be sha me de se le me de je le ben de pu se bo jo ji bo me de je jo ne mo se ye kal bo ne de gelmun de je pal bar sho na ma la men 나만라멜레 메김 내고지 좀 중요하지 되는 다 주의지는 뒤에 지나는 데메도 다 잡는 저 거제게 고제고도 다 루든지 보시 뭐다 주지 뭐 미번에 되게 뽑아서 저보더니 되게 뽑아서 거버디지 되게 뽑아서 그러바는 되게 뽑아서 투데링 되게 뽑아서 um서걸로 되게 제절부터 되게 뽑아서 소진되게 되게 뽑아서 무슨 되게 뽑아서 유라지 제거지 되게 뽑아서 고제지 되게 뽑아서 도나노도 메템지래 중원는데 동을군 지셔 한번 뭐 생기지 받아서 뭐 투제는 틀레 빼봐셔 미든 생으면 이게 레브인데 무슨 수보죠 추불이 매매도 yarıcı lüş nüme çıgıglı bunu yarım müdür şey balbarşo namla melemi kimne kucusum çüngürüdü çüngürüdü be tüyecinin dedi mu dacapunun önce kurcaki kunjak mu dedi lazunji başı mu da nici mu bu inşallah mi yapın tiki popasın sıbıdın tiki popasın gırbada tiki popasın garbadi je tege posa robana je tege posa tuderinga tege posa kumsar golo tege zejir bodne tege posa fasin tege tege posa nasin je tege posa yura je segu je tege posa gojun je tege posa dona nanda namitem je le chun nibda dugal gun je hama ba sanji je lana sama je tuzene de chile pebasho mena sinne mena je lebin de posun super jo chubun meme de je sho ne masun je galbon de girangun de je pal bar sho. Okay, now we will do. After this, now you need to now page 7 after Oma Kusum Tapa. Now, if you know, usually if you're doing just a reverse sanchu, then you read this. Now, if you want to insert the Dala, the warrior deity, and then the Yanguk, they bring all the positive fortune towards yourself, then you want to go to the next page. Now, leave that, don't read from the page 7, but insert from the page 11 here, which is the Dala, the guardian Deva. Okay, so let's do that. Kege jalon yishe danda kolu sisum gyume de gu nansi kun delon lunjam ta param jam gang köpe dalarama gyuru suji namse kuna lishe tu seleda leji tinle kun la wanguru we sawe guden jom che sunje pung zebe jinzi bu lo dirshi chik namke nuyan ton sun delwe kun Döy jabu punzo nurburi Trübe zunyesi para gyuvakun Mace dale gyal po kölabun Kemengang leke ve rangshinchi Çönama döne nyum be ngang jamsu Pensun sösü zina maçikyang Madanın sügüme röpale Tarezi şungu sanyik bedung Drabun cümpe sön çerari drabun Dale gel po pavu ngar geçin Kamsun yüle gel ve apang dödü Chante lamchen tu ta sampadu Chodara dena sin shin trao chum Veni shila de pe sewa sung Shena wang tu du ve tin le zu English translation. K, in the center of the mandala of the inner expanse of rainbow light, the sparkling radiance of primal knowing, the illusory merit desirable of the three realms of possibility, fill the extent of appearance and possibility. Within the state of infinite purity, the naturally expansive inner space of bliss, who would there be but the protective guardian Deva or deity, Lord of manifest, power of the four continents, encompassing the earth and the sky, master of all of the four activities, with impregnable armor and a vast destructive arsenal, beauty is offered for your eyes to behold. Please come here. Filling the spacious vessel of the sky, engulfing the 3,000-fold universe, are desirable qualities, Mars rainbow light, a bountiful mountain of wish-fulfilling jewels. The entire magical illusory reflection of possibility is offered without attachment to you, King of the Garden Deva. From the unborn state, phenomena which have the nature of being born are primordially equality within the state of expansiveness. Although even now they are not the appearance of the individuated grasping, the mode of impure appearance arise from illusory display. With the tiger's skin scabbard and a leopard's skin quiver and a lance as swift as the clear blue sky, destroying the host of enemies with a massive weapon, King of the Garden Deva, with a hero's war cry, victorious one on the battlefield of the three realms, I praise you and bear witness. Deliver me from dangerous places, journey, boats and bridges. After I have definitely escaped, destroy my enemies. Protect me and bestow sustenance in solitary places. Manifest the enlightened activity that overpower the perception of others. So here, when it's called destroy my enemy, means destroy the dharma, those who are negative forces who destroy the peace and happiness of the world, and that kind of negative forces. That's what it's talking about. So this is the Dala practice now. You have to do Dala practice, with incense and food and offering, in order to make it workable. So that we did the Dala practice. Now let's do the Yanguk practice, the summoning prosperity. Ge jalu dorje chu gu yang ra dere nga maga ja zre tigle yang nazi se ka chu ying ne ku jalu po wa chi bu ngudu ze gu guru be yu pa wo da ki ling kur yu tam che la da la me Chodungu Drubachi Sama Yankuchik Sepe Sonama Gebe Ngudrupsu Siji Dugu Pung Be Yang Radir Kedin Chitu Shunu Lasukang Punorochi Sama Dugu Yankuchik Punso Paljurungu Drubo Tamchesu Yangja dashi da tara chemra tang sipe lajinge be chuzebul pune nujin chenge noryanku dane tsome de me ngudus pana duzen barawa pundun tang kecho dorje le be samdun Yujo de la tashi palbaratang karpe tamchu tarawe tilesu shive leze chang seme denam ki nedun digri shive tilesu gebe leze rinje rignam ki sedan sonam gebe ngudutsu Wangi leze pema rignam ki kamso wang du pe ngudupse Trabe leze leki rignam ki drage sarju nu pe ngudupse Samdu malu du pe ngudupse English translation K. This rainbow body enclosure of prosperity is the Vajra body of reality. the effluence of unobstructed five-colored lights, rainbow rays and spear. The luminosity of appearance and possibility is summoned from fundamental space, the pure realm of space activity. Bestow the accomplishment of the great transparent body, rainbow body. Here, bestow the accomplishment of the great transparent rainbow body so that we can achieve rainbow body within this lifetime, through the practice. Of course, for that you need to practice the, Vajrayana practice, and particularly the Dzogpa Chimpo teaching, texture and Tögel practice. Guru Beyu Pavo Dakiling Kuryu Tamche La Ta Lamuga Chotungu Duchi Sama Yankuchik Sepe Sonam Ge Pe Ngudupsu Siji Dugu Pung Pe Yang Radir Gedin Chitu Shunu Alasuka Punorochi Samadu Gu Yankuchik Punso Paljurongu Dubu Tamches Yangjan Tashi Da Tara Chemratang Sipe Lachin Gebe Chuzeb Pune Nujin Cheng Noryankuk Dane Tsume De Me Ngudus Pana Duzen Parawa Pundunta Kecho Dorje Lek Be Samtundu Yujo de la Tashi Palparatang Karpu Tamchu Tarawe Tiles Shive Leze Chan. Sorry, no, we do. We, huh? I went. Huh? Okay, we do the English, right? Okay. Bestow the accomplishment of the great transparent rainbow body in the hidden land of the Guru, the realm of heroes and heroines. All of this space and time is filled with male and female devatas. Whatever ordinary and sublime accomplishment can be imagined, this prosperity is summoned. Bestow the accomplishment of increasing longevity and merit. This enclosure of prosperity is the mass merit desirable of peace and possibility, filled with lavishly ornamented youthful offering devas. Merit desirable as much wealth and offspring as one could imagine, this prosperity is summoned. Bestow all the accomplishment of beautiful, bountiful riches, the auspicious arrow, which is the scepter of prosperity, flour and butter, the spiritual substance, the delight, the great devas of possibility are offered. From the highland, the riches and prosperity of the five well spirits are summoned. From the lowland, lake goddesses and garden sisters bestow the accomplishment. From the midland, the seven blazing powerful demon brothers, a sublime being, adamant and excellent accomplished goals and aspiration, increase auspiciousness at this excellent place and manifest the enlightened activity that spread the sacred beneficent Dharma. Those with awakening minds that enact peaceful activity, manifest the enlightened activity to pacify illness, spirit, non-virtue, and obscuration. Those of the jewel family that enact expanse activity, bestow the accomplishment of increasing longevity of merit. Those of the lotus family that enact empowering activity, bestow the accomplishment of magnetizing and overpowering the three realms. Those of the activity family that enact wrathful activity, bestow the accomplishment of the power to annihilate enemies and obstacle maker. Bestow their power to accomplish all wishes without exception. So now, during this time, next time when we do a practice, then I will show you. But basically, there's some shrines needs to be set up. You need to set up a proper shrine, and when you do the whole Ryu Sanchu and Dala and Yanguk, when you do the Yanguk, you need to set like one bowl of milk, like cup milk, yogurt, and then tea, and then one with the barley flour, cooked barley flour, or I mean it's like roasted barley flour, not the unroasted, but the roasted one. These days you can order. So roasted baba, and then you put a butter on the tip on a plate or in a bowl, and then you need to hold that on your left hand, and the arrow with the 5 colors cloth on your left hand, which symbolize the 5 wisdom quality. And then when you do the yanguk, you have to visualize from the 3 universe, 3 world system, all the positive energy, all the good, all the strength, all the vitality, all the wealth, all the power, you bring that towards yourself. You have to circle it in the clockwise, like this. Clockwise, right? Clockwise, like this. And so while you keep saying Yanguk Chik, it says Yanguk Chik, the word Yanguk Chik means, may it comes to me right away. Yanguk Chik, that's how you do it. And then until the whole Yanguk practice, you keep doing like that. You get, for example, at the beginning is the rainbow body, all the Buddha's body, speech and mind, knowledge and activity, all blessing comes to you, and then you receive the supreme and relative siddhis, and then the long life, the fortune, those siddhis. And all the best of the samsara and nirvana qualities comes to you. And then if you want son, daughter, children, whatever your aspiration to come to you, your well to come to you. And then, so like that, all your aspirations to come to you. And then at the end, then, once you've done, you put the arrow back, and then then you take, a little bit of that sampa in your mouth and give to all your Dharma friends who are participating in the share it together, and like that, and receive blessing from each one of the milk and all of them like that. So we will do one, in the future I will show you that. Now, once we have done that, now let's do the page, I think it's 7. Page 7, Kusum Dapa. Kusum Dapa, Nuki Jayesu, Cholon Tu Sum, Nansi Supunam, Dusiri Juwe, Jawe Parnankang, Kurva Nyang de Zame Duzichu, Tome Dune, Dada Yinjetu, Nansi Dundu, Gurba Yonangu, Salama Debu, Yunden Tarchin, Tagum Jube, Parche Kunselne, Mijun Kunsan, Tuki Kainsu, Shunu Pum Guru, Densi Simprasho, Kurve Gyatso, Shimbo Tongpetar, Omi Pema, Javara Sangesho, Sekze, Tadan Zijibar, Karmara Chang Sem, Sekze de Dombar, Tuni Ning Je, Sekze Chuinkang, Nansi Korde, Dorje Ungeshil, Tundu Zo San, Gebe Sekze Bul, Ngungi Lencha, Tamche Changuru Chik, Tate Gula, Mine Tolosha, Maundi Pe, Koloro Maguru Chik, Sodra Chansem, Rikpa Zimbayi, Domche Lapa, Sanga Tamsi Rik, Sordama Tsuru, Nyampa Tolosha, Nedun Tip Ta, Mizan Taguru Chik, Nemo Tsinki, Karpa Shiguru Chik, Tami Usu, Ongwe Sumato, Chhoje Lama, Dende Parche Do, Puyuta Mi, Shipe Tengen Do, Zalu Gyarapo, Sowu Dupa Do, Jigpa Chimbo, Gedan Chuchu Do, Daja Karane, Tami Shipa Do, Tamsi gong pu tu do nu pa dos. Page 7, English translation. In the celestial palace, the pure vessel of the three bodies, reality, enjoyment, and emanation, their forms and aggregates of appearance and possibility, melt into elixir, rainbow light engulfing space. Samsara and nirvana, the uncorrupted distillation of elixir from time without beginning up until now, are dedicated to all the guests of appearance and possibility. The knowledge which is the fruit of the level and path is brought to perfection. All obstacle of view, meditation, and conduct cleared away. In the wondrous sky, like expanse of the heart of total goodness, may all capture the stronghold of the youthful vast body. Emptying the great ocean of samsara, may all become Buddhas in the unexcelled lotus net. The burnt substance of the aggregates and elements blaze in brilliant radiant splendor. The burnt substance of the red and white bodhicitta blaze in bliss emptiness. The burnt substance of the emptiness, compassion, fill the fundamental space of reality. In the five-colored Vajra light, the basis of appearance, possibility, samsara and nirvana are offered the burnt substance of naturally self-accomplished, complete enlightenment. May all previous karmic depths be purified. Through regret and confession, may they no longer dwell in my mind stream. In the future, may I not be involved in the wheel of obscuration. The vows of individual liberation, the percept of awakening mind, and the sacred commitment of the awareness holder, all degeneration of these, noticed or unnoticed, I openly confess. May illness, harmful influence, obscuration, and defilements be purified. May times of disease, famine, warfare be pacified. May attacks of invaders from the border be repelled. May obstacle from inviting the spiritual teacher be averted. May the inauspicious bad omens for the land of Tibet be averted. Now here, it says land of Tibet, but you should also visualize in America, whichever country you're living. May the planetary force, the Nagas, arrogant king-like spirits, and the life-stealing demons be repelled. May the 8 great fears and 16 lesser fears be overcome. Wherever we stay, may all that is inauspicious be averted. May the power, strength, and capabilities of anti-sacred forces and aggressive demons be averted. Okay, so then, so when you're clapping hand, it means pacifying, basically it has many different meanings. So when you pacify, sometimes, one visualize sun and moon disk. Basically, is the union, or basically, on a very deep level, the union is a non-duality. So when then in non-duality, all obstacles are dualistic obscuration. Dualistic obstacles and obscurations are pacified in the primordial expanse of non-dual on a very deeper level. But then on the outer level, when you do this, it's like pacifying all negativities, all the others, magic, spell, bad thoughts, an obstacle creator, or any danger of fire, water, flood, earth, whatever, 8 great fears and 16 lesser fears, poison, chemical, all those things, whatever negative, they're all pacified through that, And then also your place, if there's any bad energy, those are all pacified. So this is how you visualize. Then now we go to the dedication. Now dedication is at the page 16. Gyalwa chepe nye gyuruchi, tamche tukdam gong gyuruchi, rigru doba atsim gyuruchi, lencha shakun chan gyuruchi, sonyi yonsu zo gyuruchi, dimnyi pacha ta gyuruchi, tamba kunyi top gyuruchi, jimba gyachin gyurpa, di drobe dundu ranchung sange shu, ngungi gyawa namgi madre, kiwe sonam jimbe chol gyuruchi, jungbo ganda, dini la gyuru tam sam munde panang gokyang, kigu namla tadu chamche ninda chindu chola shobarshu gewa di gewo kun sonam mishe soso sonam mishe le chungwe tamba kunyi tobarshu bedang tsulwe magwe shing yijin nurbu pasamda simchen rewa kungze pa samba drupe trashi sho. Okay, may these offerings delight the victorious one. May the sacred bond with the oath-bound ones be fulfilled. May the desire of the 6 classes of being be satisfied. May karmic debts and vendettas be purified. May the 2 accumulations be fully completed. May the 2 obscuration and subtle habituation be purified. May the 2 sacred Buddha bodies be obtained. May the power of this vast generosity for the sake of migratory being, basically sentient beings, may the Buddha state of, may the sake of beings, may the Buddha state be self-occurring. What does that mean? Basically what does it mean? May you become enlightened for the benefit of all beings, you know. May all those not liberated by the past victorious one be liberated by this generosity. By this unexcelled utterance, may whatever malevolent spirit inhabit the earth and indeed the extent of space always be loving towards each other and every being. Practice the Dharma throughout day and night. By this virtue, may all beings complete the accumulation of merit and primal knowing, obtaining the 2 sacred bodies that echoes from merit and primal knowing, untainted by effort and striving, like a wish-fulfilling jewel or the wish-granting tree, satisfying the hope of sentient being. May there be auspiciousness of accomplishments and aspiration. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. In the world in general and in this nation, may not even the names disease, famine, war, and suffering be heard. May virtuous qualities and merit and prosperity greatly increase, and may continuous good fortune and sublime well-being perfectly rise. Sunam di tamje zikpa nyi, topne nyepe, dranam pamchi ne, kega nache balung tukpa, sipe tsole drowa rashu. By this merit, may all beings gain omniscience, thus defeat the neuroses which are the enemies. From the turbulence wave of birth, old age, sickness, and death,
from the ocean of cyclic existence, may all beings be liberated.
Jambarapavu chitara kimba tang kundu sampo teyang tishin teta kungi jesu dalov ching gewa dita tamche rabdu ngu tusum shikpe gewa tamche ngwa kane chodo nga pate daki gewe tsebe digu sampo chuchi rabdu ngu wargi. Now at the end you need to make dedication. At the beginning you need to jorwa simke tamba, mushi mikpa mepa, jengowa tamba, three sacredness, they are called 3 sacred. At the beginning, you should have, the practice, whether it's meditation, session of meditation, whether it's a session of Tonglen practice, whether it's like reciting sadhana or doing fire practice, mountain purification practice, any practice, Mahayana path,
it requires that you generate the bodhicitta mind that may benefit all sentient being, whether it's healing, whether it's happiness, anything may benefit sentient being. That motivation becomes extremely crucial, called Jorwa Simke Tamba, that you want to connect your mind to the action that practice by the sacred mind, that is the altruistic mind, bodhicitta, to benefit all being, not only temporarily, but ultimate level of realization, enlightenment. So that's called the Jorwa Simke Tamba. That's very important at the beginning. Otherwise, you do practice, just for my own healing, then your practice becomes very small, narrow. Your practice needs to be expanded with the bodhicitta attitude. Then in the middle, even you are doing the Ryo Sancho practice, but it's still, all this phenomena is illusory phenomena, like Mushi Mikpa Mepa means by seeing the nature of thatness, nature of emptiness, devoid of any inherent existence. Of course, you don't have to go through philosophical understanding, but basically, while you're doing, see that as, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Emptiness is no other than form, form is no other than empty. More like within the view of seeing it, an illusory offering, instead of something, so rigid and concrete, but offering like our whole life is illusion actually. Look, we move constantly. It's, not only is impermanence, not only is changing, but in essence is emptiness, So therefore, it's good to remember that view of thatness in the middle. So of course, you need to focus making the offering of the 6, 4 guests and, healing and each aspiration you have for the particular practice you're doing for, that is important. You need to focus that. But don't forget the principle, nature of phenomena also. That's in the middle. Then at the end, you need to make dedication. And for us, because of our ego mind, that for eons and eons we live with the ego mind, and our minds are afflicted with afflictions. Therefore, it's difficult to make really a dedication like a bodhisattva. Especially a Mahasattva like Manjushri, Avalokeshvara, all, like Buddhas, we don't know how to make aspiration. Because whatever we do, always there is some grasping, clinging, me, I, so important. It's very hard to bring the true awareness to make dedication, like the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas do. So therefore, when we make dedication at the end, we should make genuine connect to Manjushri and Buddhas of the 3 times and Bodhisattvas, Tara and all the, enlightened being. Way Manjushri and enlightened beings have make dedication for the happiness and enlightenment of all being. I likewise also make, like you become like part of the each cells of Bodhisattva. Each and every, like how many cells are there in our body? We have billions and trillions. Like billions and trillions of each and every thought, every aspect of our body, speech and mind made that, dedicates towards enlightenment. Then, until you get enlightenment, you will be in the right place, you will be born in the right environment, right conducive environment. You will bring the action of bodhisattva practice, purify all your defilements and achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all being in yourself. That will happen when you make the dedication to the right place. Otherwise, what happens without proper dedication, it says it's like a banana tree. I don't know exactly for sure. It is said that banana tree only give fruit one time and then it's finished. Due to the power of cause and effect, when you do any practice, it will give a result, but only one time if you don't make dedication. And in fact, if you make the wrong dedication, you did a very powerful practice, and then you get some kind of negative thought arises, and you goes towards a wrong kind of dedication. You can be powerful, and then you can destroy yourself. Like we see tyrants and dictators and like that, or even it can be in many levels. even among animals, even among humans, among so many things. So therefore, dedication at the end is very important, and as well as your particular dedication, for your well-being, for your health, for your conducive practice. And those will all happen. So dedication become like sealed up at the end. Is like sealed. It is said like a drop of water, if it falls into the ocean, until the whole ocean doesn't dry up, that water will not dry up, like that. Otherwise, it's like a drop of water falling in a ground, dry sand, and very soon the water will evaporate, dry. So like that, a drop water in the ocean, until the ocean exhausted, that drop will not exhaust. Likewise, so dedication is very important. So then today, wonderful, and I think we did, we will do in the future, I will show you all those things, but at least now for the time being, you can start. And Nolsang practice similar ingredients. There's 5 color clothes, like cotton. If you put colors, don't put silk and polyester, they're not good. As you need to put cotton. Need a little bit of, according to the offering, so a small piece of some, a little bit of white, blue, red, yellow, green color clothes, cut it into small pieces and then put with the food, because each one of them have different effect into your practice. And then mix same kind of food ingredients, and amrita is, I think it's essential to have some amrita in that offering, and then make offering like that in the evening, very beneficial. So, any question? Okay, let's.
Rinpoche, I want to start with a clarification on drala. And so it's my understanding that the Yongguk is something that you can do as add in to the Riwa Sangchu, like we did today, as more of a bigger practice. And with the Yongguk, that's where you would make the shrine and have the arrow and etc. But if you're just going to do the Riwa Sangchu plus the drala, then do you need to make the shrine and the whole thing, or can you just add the drala in the Riwa Sangchu and leave it at that?
Yeah, if you are doing in your home, of course, to make a shrine is always better. But let's say if you're doing in the top of a mountain, not in the jungle, be careful, forest, but like in a desert or some very safe environment that you don't, create any danger, then, still it's good to make a little shrine, if it's possible. But of course, that'll be very hard doing in a public land, anything. Then you can just do a little sang wherever you are, like that. But if you're doing the Yongguk, you definitely need to do it in your home. It's important to do that in your home. Yeah. You are dwelling. You need to bring positive energy to your home.
So if you're using the incense, Riwa Sangchu incense, and doing Riwa Sangchu, can you add drala into your practice as well with the incense?
Yes.
Rinpoche, are there any practice commitments for today's transmissions?
Are they what?
Practice commitments.
No.
Or vows.
No commitment, no. Whenever you want to do, this is if you do it every day, you will find tremendous benefit as far as your health is concerned, as far as your job, prosperity, meditation. It's very powerful. So I think this is like a wish-fulfilling gem practice. So, but there is no such practice commitment if you receive a Vajikilaya empowerment or other thing, then there's commitment. But this had no commitment, but you can do it every day, very good. Or you want to do once a week, very good, or once a month, it's up to you.
Kim asked, do you need to use a Vajra and a bell for this puja?
Not necessarily. You can use, it's up to you. If you don't use it, it's up to you.
There was a question about the melody.
Melody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, different, monasteries use different melody. So, or you can just do without melody, or if you want to do with the melody, that's also up to you.
Ngawang Tokme asks, from whom did Rinpoche receive these precious transmissions?
I received from Soksir Rinpoche. Yeah, it's good to always know where one receives. I receive it from Soksir Rinpoche. Yeah.
Allison asks, are there prayers that need to be said before starting Ngolsang? And what was the first thing you were chanting before you gave the Ngolsang transmission?
The first thing is always good to do the 8 auspicious noble prayer, and then the 7-line prayer 3 times. And then if you can do the Trikaya supplication, it's up to you. But normally, definitely do the 8 auspicious noble prayer first, do 7-line prayer 3 times, then you can go straight to the practice. It's up to you. How long supplication of your gurus you want to do or not, that's your choice.
Rinpoche Yola asks, could you please give us a slow motion demonstration of the mudras for consecrating the offerings?
Mudra. Okay. Is the camera working? Right? Yeah, it's like this. Nama sarva tata gata baye bishu mukepe sarva te gamme gate sapa ima gana gam soha. So, 3 times. You have to move like this. Do it 3 times. Like this, like, yeah. Like this. Nama sarva tata gata baye vishu mukupe sarva te gam sabarana ima gagana gam soha. Yeah, like that.
Lhasa, thanks, Rinpoche.
Yeah, I think it's 3 times, now we used to do so fast that when you're doing sometime in the monastery, you just do like this, like that. But actually doing it slow motion, yeah, it's like that. Then you do like that, like that. I think it's 3 times, yeah.
Yeah, can you do it one more time, Rinpoche?
Hmm?
Now that we have the front camera ready.
Okay.
Thank you.
Nama sarva tata gata paye bishu mukepe sarva te gam gate saparan ima gagana gam soha. Like that. Okay.
Tinle Palmo asks, after the Om Ahung accumulations in the Riwa Sangche, Rinpoche was reciting some prayer.
Yeah.
What is this?
That is from Dujum Lingpa, a special song of Dujum Lingpa. It's like an abbreviation of Nolsang. The Nolsang is large, but there's kind of a Nolsang which is very special, Nolsang, only 1 page that I do in between. Yeah, like that.
Yola asks, Rinpoche, could you explain how to do longer offerings and multiple song offerings?
How to do multiple song offering? So when you do multiple song offerings, so like, you need to repeat from Drum. The refuge in bodhicitta you only need to do 1 time. Then after that, you need to go like Drum, Rinchen, Naso, Tangme, Nuyansu. From that until you come to Omahung. Now the main accumulation is Omahung. Omahung. So when we say like 100 million Ruwa Sangchu or 100,000 Ruwa Sangchu or let's say 100 Ruwa Sangchu, basically you have to do the Omahung 100 times or Omahung thousands or tens of thousands of times. But when they do that, normally they would do like, when it's a large song, probably like do it like 1,000 times, 10 malas. There's 1,000 is 10 malas, or mahung, mahung, mahung. Then one will go to the Kusum Tapanuki, page 7, one will go to the, like clapping the hand, and then again go back to drum rinchin, again from the drum. So you keep, and then if there's like if there's 100 people doing together, so when you do like 1,000, that's like how many? 100 people multiplied by? 100,000. Is it? 100 people, 100,000 happens. When you do 1,000, then it's like 100 times, it becomes 100,000. So that's how, sometimes, like when Soksrim Rinpoche did, I think 1,000 million, I think. It took us like 1 month to do like a few hundred monks and nuns. And that was very powerful in healing, and you definitely see a huge change. So it's a very powerful practice, because there's 4 guests. You're making offering to the 4 guests. 4 guests is, first the guests of the Lama Yidam Dakini, triple gem. Second guest is all the Dhammapalas. Third guest is all the beings of the 6th realm. Fourth guest is all the karmic debtors. So nothing is left. That's why this simple to do, very powerful. Even his son is Dujum Rinpoche used to do this. A Padmasambhava emanation. Every day his soulness would do. Such a great Dzogchen master, but they would also, do for the benefit of being, and, like that. So it's, and you can just, if you do it every day, it will bring really, really physically and mentally, spiritually, tremendous blessing and well-being, prosperity, everything that you need in life.
Yabin asks...
We could say like white magic, right? Then it also dispel all obstacles. So, yeah.
Sorry, Rinpoche. Yabin asks, how do you do a practical Rewa Sangche if we live in a limited space like an apartment?
Yeah, then incense is the best, because I think the neighbors will be concerned. Even today, Jim is brave, so he don't mind the smoke. But I feel what the neighbors think, In America, this is very hard to do like this, what people think, neighbors think. So basically, in a case like that, if you are like in a country home, then you can do big as you like. But in a residential area, I think incense, it wouldn't hurt much. Yeah. But according to the substance, then you also get merit accordingly also. So incense is okay, but best is to have ingredients.
Rinpoche, Ronnie asks, what is Amrita? Is Amrita some material to be added to the offering mixture?
Yeah, Amrita is the blessed substance, nectar. That's, you can't buy in the market. It's just only you have to get it from a lama. Amrita is Amrita blessed through, different deities, how it was performed and practiced. Basically able to transform that into nectar. Truly, by taking nyongtol, Tibetan word is called nyongtol. By taking, eating it, you find liberation. It is said that when a person is dying, if you give Amrita in their mouth, because all the 5 Buddha family blessing, everything is in that. And then one will not be born in the lower realms also. And so at the same time, it can be used in offerings, which makes it become nectar. Otherwise, ordinary person have difficulty through their visualization to actually make it into nectar. You can imagine, but it will not, it's better than nothing. But this is actually, there's blessed into nectar. So beings receive that accordingly. Yeah.
Allison asks, if we are just offering the Riwa Sangcha incense, can we do the summoning positivity and guardian deva practice?
Yes, you can. If it's the Riwa Sangchu incense, make sure it is a Riwa Sangchu, not every incense.
Tinle Pamo asks, it seems to me Riwa Sangcha is very powerful already. Why do we need to do Nosang?
Nolsang, of course, we have many karmas. So if you feel like, certain, Ryu Sangchu has this tremendous power, but then there is like in the evening, there are other problems that we can have. And sometimes it's just like medicine, like you take like medicine and you also need to take supplements sometimes. It's like that. Sometimes you need to take both Tibetan medicine and Western medicine both. Not only, when you eat bread, you also need a butter,
Tinley would also like to know, what's the main difference between Riwa Sangcha and Nosang?
Nol is like getting disturbed. Word nol means like something disturbed. Sang means to clear the disturbance. So when you read the Nol Sang, read the text in English translation, there are many specific like sicknesses and obscuration can be purified by that. And it's so much detail, it's amazing, Padmasambhava, he's the embodiment of the Buddhas of the 3 times, the omniscient, and every minute detail of phenomena, Guru Rinpoche knows how to heal and repair and, how to bring that into harmony. So therefore, Guru Rinpoche brought all this ingredient and then, and each one of them, if you read the text, this will benefit this sickness, this will benefit that sickness. Even like sometimes, tub shop, for example. Tub shop is like kitchen disturbance. The kitchen set also have like its own, karmically, there's some kind of energy there. So when we boil tea or cook tea, sometimes it pours over, it creates certain kind of energy there. So it has to be maintained, proper. This is phenomenal karmic realm. Phenomenal karmic realm is, that's how phenomena, infinite relative phenomena. Theory of relativity by Einstein. Relativity has no limit. Relativity is phenomena. Relativity is so many facets that happens in our life. I mean, even if we look at this body, we have a head, we have a hand, so many parts, then so many cells, and each one of them, how they get affect our immune system to this and that, just like so many. So each aspect of our life, there's a karmic phenomena there. And how to heal those things is that in the Nolsang practice.
Tara asks, if you're burning incense, is it the case that the incense still needs to be burning when we're reciting Om Ahung?
Say that again.
Yeah. So Tara asks, if we're using incense to make the offering, is it the case that the incense still needs to be burning while we're reciting Om Ahung and visualizing the offering?
Yeah. If there is no offering, then, unless you are Buddha, you can manifest, otherwise it's difficult.
Kira asks, is it
It's like saying, empty plate, what is there to eat? You say, please eat, offering I make, but there's nothing on the plate. Okay.
Kira asks, is it best to burn incense for burnt offerings inside or outside one's apartment?
You can do it, if you're doing Nolsang, it has to be, out and in both. there's a part it says, now for the specifically in the Nolsang it says, now take it to the shrine. So then you need to bring the smoke and to the shrine. Now to the protectors. Now to the people. And specifically if it's a patient, sick person, there's a particular part where one is to use the incense to the sick person. Yeah.
Yola asks, is it good to offer Riwo Sangche dedicated for the recently deceased?
Disease one needs usually there's a karsu, sur practice, sur, there's a through in the Vajrasattva practice, there is sur practice. So disease sur is slightly different, and of course it will benefit, Riwo Sangchu, but there is a particular sur practice for the disease that has to be performed.
Carol asks, is there a difference between using red or white Riwo Sangche incense?
No. Basically, Riwo Sangchu incense, they're made of sandalwoods. If it's red sandalwood, probably it is red or whatever the color is. It should be, as I said, mainly vegetarian sort of, a substance without any garlic and any meat is important for the white sur. They're called white sur. Now, if it's red sur, then there's a meat, which is done in the evening. But normally, the white sur, there should be no meat and garlic and spices, chili spices. Other spices are good, like cinnamon and, those are all very good in Riwo Sangche ingredients.
Justin asks, how can one do this song in a simplified way when one has a child to take care of and lots of chanting is difficult?
Say that again.
How can one do this song in a simplified way when one has a child to take care of and lots of chanting is difficult?
Yeah. So therefore maybe, I think if you do it, let's say for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, at some point you will memorize this. Then it's quite easy. Then in the morning, you just light up the, let me say one time. 금송구라지로 도진이 벌써 상계시 오망 지지지와 번호가 그러냐 되자면이죠. 토마토는 다다이지도. 너저도 지바요는 사람들 버지는지. 따군지바 버지고전에 미지고저도 간이소 주로 보고 지버죠. 그러지도 좀 또부터. 오메 배마다 와성기죠. 봉거저도 지지 바라거마제스. 뭐 돈이니세 신가는 저거다는 거지. 루즈지 버스지 뭔가 되지 미쳐고지. 다다면은 뭐도 배고로마지죠. 저 버스 바이에 좀 잘라봐서 좀들에서 남아서님 바도로 셔야 되는데 이제 하는 거지. 담에서 왜 숨어도 주저는 마다를 버리다. 배 좀씩 땡도 서로기 버스 두바도 직받침부지 주로도 다저건 좀 씹어도 좀 봐도 선음디 tum지식반이 tum내니 배라는 뭔지 베개가는 저번에 저 씹에 설레도 와도 show. It took 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So you get used to it. Of course at the beginning it's a little difficult, but you can do 5-10 minutes. So, you just make the fire, and then, you can even stand up, like, standing up on your veranda and just visualize and just do that, or sitting, whatever. It doesn't take that long. Just do one mala. If you want to do daily just one mala, you can easily do. And also you can, if you want to make a fire, I tell you, you make the ingredients and put that in a jar, like barley mixed with butter. You need 3 whites and 3 sweets. 3 white is butter, milk, and yogurt. 3 sweet, sugar, brown sugar, and honey. 3 whites and 3 whites. And then mix with barley, put some lentils and some, cinnamons and those good things, whatever, cashews, raisins, and then you make make it ready-made, mix it up, not like wet, but a little bit dry. Sort of mix it up, put it in a jar, separate, clean, and then put a special clean spoon, only used for that. Then you can get instant charcoal, for example. Instant charcoal, light up 3 instant charcoal. Put like half a spoon in each one of them, or spoon, whatever, and you can just do it that also. If you don't have incense, you can do with that. It's fairly easy. And mix with the incense. Yes, you need some incense to make, and a little bit of amrita if you have. If you don't have amrita, fine. Then mix with, a good incense. Don't get any kind of incense, because if there's substance like inside, I hope not, no marijuana, that's not good. So no drugs and no psychedelic kind of thing, like juniper, cedar, and then sandalwoods, white sandalwood, red sandalwood, whatever. If you have powder of those, mix it up and put a little bit. That's it. Yeah. So you'll get used to it. At the beginning, sounds a little difficult, but once you do it, then it's not that difficult. Okay.
Rinpoche, Tara requests that would Rinpoche please give us a teaching on the sur practice sometime?
Sur practice, yeah, okay. Next time.
And Jordan asks, if we use incense to spread water on the offering, probably like this, what should we do with that incense afterwards? Should we treat it like tzok?
You mean the water?
I think he means the incense.
Oh, I see. Normally, the best is to get if you have a cedar, like a juniper branch, cut a little bit like juniper, or like juniper is very good. Then leave it there all the time. That is better than incense. And then you can do that. Best is to have a bumpa, if you have. If you don't have a bumpa, then get a bottled water, and then use that with the juniper leaf, or some even, non-poisonous flower plant is also good.
Keiichi asks, can we substitute roasted barley powder with other substances like almond flour?
Yeah.
And Kenny asks, is Riwa Sangche a Dzogchen practice?
Riwa Sangche can lead to Dzogchen practice, because what stops the realization of Dzogchen practice is obscurations, our karma, our obscurations, defilements. Once that is purified, then you experience bodhicitta, and that leads you to easily realize Dzogchen nature.
Tinley asks, if we don't have amrita from home, at home from a lama, is there any substitute for that? Can we use nectar pills with water?
Nectar pill, what is that?
Like maybe water purification pills?
Oh, yeah. You mean water purification pill, you're saying?
I think that she wants to know if you can substitute water purification pills for amrita.
Yeah. As I said, if you have amrita, very good. If you don't have amrita, even the substance should be clean. And when you make the substance, wash your hand first. That food offering should be separate than what we eat. So it's not like you cut your own, you have a butter, and then you put the remaining one. That should not be there. all these ingredients should be separately bought and the pure offering. Yeah.
I think that's all, Rinpoche.
Okay, so
Om
then,
Swasti.
and then
The
I like to say one thing. Tomorrow, the Guru Rinpoche Day is coming next Saturday. So I want to explain the seven-line prayer next Saturday on Guru Rinpoche Day, and then we do the talk, and I will explain the seven-line prayer, and then we will do seven-line practice. Of course, we are doing the seven-line talk offering with the seven-line teaching. So I'm going to give the teaching on Guru Rinpoche Day. So tomorrow, no, I'm not going to give. Huh?
Tomorrow's canceled.
Tomorrow's cancelled. Tomorrow cancel. We're going to do next Saturday, which is Guru Rinpoche Day. And so seven-line prayers and seven-line teaching and seven-line practice we will do. Okay. So I think it'll be good to do it'll be good to do in the morning time. It says that when the rays of sun shines, the Padmasambhava comes on the rays of sun to bless the beings. So since that is Guru Rinpoche Day, I would begin the teaching here at 8 o'clock, and then 8 to 12, morning 8 to until 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we will do the talk and the teaching all together between 8 to 12 on Saturday. Okay, that's it.
Om Swasti, the indestructible self-born essence of Amitayas, primordially uncharacterized by either birth or death, by the truth of the fundamental purity of phenomenality itself, may the supreme guide of beings, the victorious one, may he live a long life. With the unobstructed creativity of the Vajra clouds of highest ecstasy, expanding through space the skillful dance of Mayajala, with the truth of the spontaneity of interdependent phenomena, may the supreme guide of beings, the victorious one, may he live a long life. With the fearlessness, wisdom, and kindness which is the power of primordial awareness, the essence of the precise secret teachings of the Vajrayana, the wish-fulfilling jewel, the victorious banner of teaching, practice, and action is raised to the pinnacle. May he live long as he fulfills the aspirations and wishes of living beings, sounding the Dharma as a conch-shell trumpet with the auspicious pattern of a right-handed spiral, causing the essence to enter the ears of many beings of the three habitats, above, on the surface, and below the earth, accomplishing the spread of virtue victoriously in all directions. May this fortunate, supreme guide and sovereign live a long life. May the Lama Vidyadhara live for 100 eons, victorious in the war against adverse inner and outer obstacles, spontaneously accomplishing vast intentions of great value to the Dharma and living beings. May this most excellent, auspicious vision pervade forever. Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay. Thank you all. So please, now you have a very special practice to do. It's a very, very special. If you do it, you will know it. So therefore, it's a healing, it's accumulation of merit is there, healing is there, Drala practice is there, Yanguk practice is there. So you're equipped with the power how to deal, bring positive, creating positive environment and circumstances in your life with tremendous blessings. So please do this practice whenever you have time, and it'll bring tremendous happiness and joy in your life. And so then someday I will show the Yanguk, we can all do Riva Sancho practice, but basically now you have the whole transmission. Okay, thank you. Okay.